Ice apocalypse. This is how you can stock up on the greatest beauties. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 151 What ABD? Next, on every floor, Xialuo could know if there were any survivors hiding at home, although many people, including Chen Jianjun, do not believe in ghosts and gods. At this moment, they all wonder if Xialuo is a god, or it must have some special abilities. Do you have a clairvoyance? Can you still sense human breath? In short, all the survivors are increasingly aware that Xialuo is mysterious. In fact, thinking about it now, it seems that from the beginning of the disaster, Xialuo was the famous person in the building at first. It was Director Ma and Aunt Wang from the business committee who made trouble for Xialuo. Later, Aunt Wang's son Wang Chenglong wanted to trick Xialuo. After Alliance A appeared, Alliance A sent people to trouble Xialuo, but it seems that everyone who makes trouble for Xialuo will not end well, and now, let alone causing trouble for Xialuo, even those who disobey him will probably not end well, and Xialuo seems to know who is disobedient, and even knows who is hiding at home. Let's be honest, Xialuo is definitely not an ordinary person. At this moment, everyone was in awe of Xialuo. Soon, Xialuo and the others arrived at the 11th floor. Starting from the 11th floor, this place is already controlled by Zhao Xiaobing and his group. Aunt Wang and her son, who had always wanted to cause trouble for Xialuo, lived on the 11th floor. However, Xialuo discovered through drone reconnaissance that Aunt Wang, her mother and her son were already dead, and she seemed to have been tortured before she died, and her home was bloody. Moreover, Xialuo also discovered that starting from the 11th floor, there were many fewer survivors standing outside the room waiting for Xialuo. It's not that someone was hiding in the house and didn't come out, but that the people in those rooms were either killed or starved to death. All in all, there are far fewer people alive than on the floors above. Not long after, Xialuo led a group of people to the 6th floor and was about to walk to the 5th floor. Boss, I heard that Zhao Xiaobing's group's stronghold is on the 5th floor. Should we get everyone ready for battle? Chen Jianjun walked up to Xialuo and reminded him. Although Chen Jianjun lived on the 25th floor before, it was a territory controlled by Alliance A, but Chen Jianjun and the others formed a small group in private, so they also heard a lot about Zhao Xiaobing and his group. Chen Jianjun and others heard that Zhao Xiaobing's group was more ruthless than the people in Alliance A and often killed people. Moreover, when robbing survivors of food, they would not leave any bit for them. Xialuo shook his head and said, "No need to bother. Zhao Xiaobing and the others have already left our building." Zhao Xiaobing and his gang were indeed scared away. In fact, after Xialuo was unwilling to accept their offer to guard Xialuo's door, Zhao Xiaobing and his gang immediately packed up their things and fled the building. After all, they are not strong-minded. They know that even the people in Alliance A have been completely wiped out. They are definitely no match for Xialuo. Since Xialuo didn't even give them a chance to be dogs, they would definitely not stay here waiting to die anyway. These days, there are actually survivors from other buildings who want to come to Building A to snatch food. There are already ways to escape to other buildings, so Zhao Xiaobing and the others fled directly. In fact, if Xialuo really wanted to kill Zhao Xiaobing and the others, he could certainly do it, but Xialuo didn't take them seriously at all. In the post-apocalyptic world, there are countless thug teams. Xialuo is not the savior. He has no great goal of killing all the thug teams as long as he is not provoked. Xialuo is too lazy to take action. When Xialuo said that Zhao Xiaobing's group had left, Chen Jianjun and his team breathed a sigh of relief. After all, they heard that Zhao Xiaobing and his group were all lunatics, and no one in Alliance A wanted to provoke them before. If Zhao Xiaobing and the others were still on the 5th floor, it would definitely be another fierce battle. If Xialuo hadn't taken action, Chen Jianjun and his team might have suffered heavy casualties, and many people would have been frightened. Fortunately, the boss scared them away. After Xialuo and the others arrived on the 5th floor, Liu Dazhuang soon led a group of corpse removal teams to the 5th floor. Xialuo asked Liu Dazhuang and the others to suspend their work first, and then gathered everyone in the corridor on the 5th floor. Xialuo said, "Everyone, listen, from now on, everything in Building A belongs to me. Anyone who wants to stay in this building must obey my rules in the future. Of course, if someone wants to leave this building, I won't stop you. You can stay or leave as you like. In addition, from today on, your original home is no longer yours. Apart from the things you carry with you, you have nothing else. Everything at home has nothing to do with you. Li Xialuo's words caused some survivors who had listened honestly to panic. If they don't have a house, where will they live? Moreover, some of them thought that Li Xialuo asked them to come out with food to hand it over to Li Xialuo, so naturally they would not honestly take out everything at home. They had hidden most of the food very secretly for a long time, fearing that Li Xialuo would send people to search their home, but they never thought that Li Xialuo would not play according to the routine. The supplies they were asked to bring out were all for themselves, and the ones left at home belonged to Li Xialuo. What a sixth man! It's impossible to guard against it, especially the couple Liu Songping and Li Mina in the crowd. In this building, their food is definitely ranked among the top, but now, the food in their hands is the least. The two of them really wanted to slap themselves in the face, because Chen Jianzhen's wife reminded them at that time, but they didn't believe others at all. Boss Li Xialuo, if you take away our house, where will we live? In this weather, you won't let us live outside in the snow, right? What's the difference between that and killing us directly? Although everyone is now afraid of Li Xialuo and may die, some people still have the courage to express their dissatisfaction. Li Xialuo looked at everyone and said, "You should know that it is actually very easy for me to kill you, so if I really want to kill you, I don't have to go to such trouble. In this post-apocalyptic world, everything is actually ownerless and belongs to whoever has the ability to get it." I said, "If you want to leave this building, you can leave at any time, but if you don't want to leave for the time being, then I will also give you a temporary residence. You can choose any of the houses from the 5th floor down. There are so many rooms on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th floors, which should be enough for you people." Then Chen Jianzhen and Liu Dazhuang, "Listen, I am a person who distinguishes rewards and punishments later. You and your team will have priority in choosing a house, and the food and supplies that Zhao Ziyaobing and his group did not take away will also belong to you. It will be yours today. Pay me what you have done." "Thank you, boss." Chen Jianzhen and Liu Dazhuang both looked at Li Xialuo gratefully. This was definitely an unexpected surprise. The other survivors also breathed a sigh of relief. At least Li Xialuo gave them another house to live in and didn't really want to kill them. Moreover, many survivors were actually very happy to be able to live downstairs. After all, if there is really no food downstairs, it is more convenient for them to go out and look for food. There are very few survivors like Liu Songping and Li Mina who have a lot of food at home and have yet to starve, so all of a sudden, most people had no opinion. There are still some people who dare not say anything even if they have opinions in their hearts. Chapter 152, The Beautiful Secretary's Attentive Service. Today, Li Xialuo has done a lot of things. First, eliminate the people from Alliance A in this building. From now on, he will be the only voice in this building, Li Xialuo. Second, move all the survivors in this building to the bottom floors. As for the purpose of doing this, it is actually similar to that of Longding Villa. Third, Liu Dazhuang was asked to take the re-education through labor prisoners to carry all the corpses in the entire building downstairs, then pour gasoline on them and burn them all. No matter good or bad, their dead bodies should no longer be insulted. Fourth, Li Xialuo found a few people among the survivors who knew how to make and install stainless steel doors and windows, and then gave them tools and materials to install a stainless steel door in the stairwell on the 5th and 6th floors. With this door, the area above the 5th floor will officially become a restricted area for all survivors in this building without Li Xialuo's permission. If they dare to break in privately, they will bear the consequences at their own risk. And with this door behind, the 3 women Meng Jiajia recruited by Li Xialuo can easily defend it, and Li Xialuo does not need to worry too much. It was getting dark, and after finishing his work, Li Xialuo took the general back to Lord's Mansion number 36 upstairs. After climbing more than 30 flights of stairs, Li Xialuo now realized firsthand the trouble of not having an elevator. In fact, Li Xialuo's physique has been strengthened. It is still very easy for him to climb the 36th floor, but it is also troublesome and time-consuming, not to mention the general who followed Li Xialuo. Going upstairs was much more difficult for him than going downstairs. Moreover, there were more than 30 floors of stairs. It was simply his first time. It's too much trouble. Fortunately, it is still a large dog and has strong athletic ability. In fact, for ordinary survivors, it is very painful to go up and down 20 or 30 floors, especially after the end of the world. They already don't have much physical strength. This is why many survivors who lived on high floors in the past would rather rob neighbors of food, or even starve to death, rather than run downstairs to find a chance of survival, because if they leave home and don't find food downstairs, they may not have the strength to climb upstairs and go home, and they will end up freezing to death outside. So, Li Xiaoluo forced all the people living in the high-rise buildings to go downstairs. And maybe even made up his mind for some of them, so that they could go outside to look for food. Of course, the reason why Li Xiaoluo let them live on the floors below was actually to use them to resist some annoying little harassment after all. It can be known from Zhao Xiaobing and his gang that now there is not only a thug team in their building A, but also many other thug teams in the community, and some thug teams have even begun to invade other buildings. In fact, Li Xiaoluo was not worried at all about the team of thugs in the community. Li Xiaoluo could kill as many as they came, but Li Xiaoluo doesn't have time to guard against those people's invasion, and Li Xiaoluo can't go around to promote it. I have a gun in my hand, so don't come and die. So Li Xiaoluo temporarily let Liu Dazhuang, Chen Jianjun and other survivors live downstairs to fend off a steady stream of minor troubles for him. However, Li Xiaoluo is not hiring them now and does not need to pay them anymore. Boss, you are back. The sound of Li Xiaoluo opening the door immediately woke up Zhou Xiaotong, who was reading a book on the sofa. Suddenly hearing the sound of opening the door, Zhou Xiaotong was not afraid even though he had not seen anyone yet. Instead, he stood up and ran towards the door with a face full of surprise because she is now extremely confident in the defense of this house. The only person who can come in is probably her beloved boss. Zhou Xiaotong came to Li Xiaoluo, and after confirming that Li Xiaoluo was not injured, she felt completely relieved. Although he knew that Li Xiaoluo was mysterious, powerful, Zhou Xiaotong would still subconsciously worry when Li Xiaoluo went out. Then Zhou Xiaotong reached out to help Li Xiaoluo take off his heavy down jacket. At home, he could just wear short sleeves. Li Xiaoluo smiled and naturally accepted the meticulous service of his beautiful secretary. On the contrary, the general at Li Xiaoluo's feet rolled his eyes. He was very tired after climbing such a high staircase with his master. I didn't expect that. Now I have to watch two owners spreading dog food. Am I the dog, or are you the dogs? It's just too much bullying. Woof, 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 woof. The general raised his head and barked twice into the air, not knowing that he was reminding Li Xiaoluo to pay attention to its feelings. Let's remind the corn at home that it's back. Hurry up and greet it. However, it seems that neither the owner nor the corn pays attention to it. The general's eyes suddenly showed a hint of sadness, and then he ran to his kennel injured to think about the dog's life. Li Xiaoluo and Zhou Xiaotong looked at the general's self-performance and found it a bit funny, but corn doesn't like it, and there's nothing they can do about it. The general can only rely on his own efforts. After Zhou Xiaotong took off the thick clothes on Li Xiaoluo's body, she then bent down to get a pair of slippers from the shoe cabinet to change Li Xiaoluo's shoes because there is no one at home and the temperature is not cold. Zhou Xiaotong usually wears cool and sexy clothes at this time. Zhou Xiaotong was wearing a purple silk pajamas. The length of the pajamas was already as long as her white thighs. When Zhou Xiaotong bent over, almost all of her beautiful white legs were exposed. This fairy is really becoming more and more charming. The moment Zhou Xiaotong stood up, Li Xiaoluo hugged Zhou Xiaotong from behind, then raised her sexy lips and pressed them on her. Zhou Xiaotong's lips were very soft, and Li Xiaoluo couldn't stop kissing her. Zhou Xiaotong also smells very good, not the smell of perfume, but her body fragrance. Holding Zhou Xiaotong's body, Li Xiaoluo felt very comfortable. Boss, don't worry about it now. I'm changing your shoes. And you've been busy outside all day, so you're probably hungry. Let's eat first. Zhou Xiaotong finally managed to stay awake, twisted her body, and said coquettishly to Li Xiaoluo. In fact, Zhou Xiaotong felt very happy when she felt Li Xiaoluo's infatuation with her. Now Li Xiaoluo was everything to her, but Zhou Xiaotong knew Li Xiaoluo's strength. She was afraid that Li Xiaoluo would be hungry already after a busy day today. Wait, don't get even more hungry. It's okay, it's beautiful and delicious. I can eat whatever you want and it will satisfy you. You change your shoes and I'll eat my delicious food, Li Xiaoluo said with a smile, and then his hands began to move. Zhou Xiaotong's beautiful face turned rosy instantly, and with her back turned like this, how could she change Li Xiaoluo's shoes? Zhou Xiaotong held the slippers in her hand and didn't know how to operate them for a moment. Chapter 153 Zhou Xiaotong who thinks wrongly. After dinner, Zhou Xiaotong listened to Li Xiaoluo tell her roughly what happened today. Although Zhou Xiaotong didn't see it with her own eyes, she could imagine what the survivors in this building lived like because the ice apocalypse came so suddenly. Many survivors did not have much food at home, and it was very difficult to survive. But in the last days, there are often not only natural disasters, but also man-made disasters. The survivors living upstairs on the floor under the jurisdiction of Alliance A may be slightly better off. Although they will be robbed of most of the food at home, they can at least survive. The survivors living downstairs on the floor under the jurisdiction of Zhao Xiaobing and others were even worse. After Li Xiaoluo assigned the 5th floor to Chen Jianjun and the others, Chen Jianjun and the others naturally had to choose a house to live in, but when they pushed open each house and saw the bloody scenes inside, many people couldn't help but retch. Even though there was no food in their stomachs, then everyone discovered that between Sons Hehao, Zhao Xiaobing, and Li Xiaoluo, after such a comparison, it was indeed better to follow Li Xiaoluo, at least as long as they abide by the rules set by Li Xiaoluo, and Li Xiaoluo does not snatch their food or women. Many women still begged to follow Li Xiaoluo, but Li Xiaoluo didn't want to. Li Xiaoluo will not kill them if they have not made any mistakes, so by following Li Xiaoluo, at least you don't have to worry too much about your food and life safety. The only pity is that it is too difficult to become Li Xiaoluo. Even Chen Jianjun and Liu Dazhuang were only on temporary employment, and their employment relationship has been terminated today. The person who wants to truly become Li Xiaoluo must be a woman, and it also depends on whether Li Xiaoluo wants it or not. So compared to the survivors downstairs, Josiah Tong really felt that she was too happy. It is simply a fury-like life, boss. Since everything above the 6th floor is safe, can I go out and help you, Joe? Josiah Tong hugged Li Xiaoluo's arm and said softly. The reason why Josiah Tong wanted to go out and do some work was not only because it was too boring to stay at home all the time, but also because she really wanted to share the work with Li Xiaoluo. After all, she is a secretary. How can she continue to live the life of a rich wife? In fact, Li Xiaoluo still has feelings for Josiah Tong and Shen Miaomiao. Although he wanted them to exercise, he didn't want them to be in danger. In addition to having feelings, it's also because they are Li Xiaoluo's right-hand men in the future, and they don't want to die before they grow up. You can go out if you want, but you have to learn to first. Li Xiaoluo thought for a while and then made a decision. Josiah Tong opened her mouth wide, and then her fair face turned crimson. Her mind was a little confused. Does doing that kind of thing have anything to do with whether she could go out? And she knows a lot now, so it's not difficult to fight anything like that. But as soon as Li Xiaoluo thought about it, a pistol suddenly appeared in his hand, and Josiah Tong, dumbfounded. It seems like her thoughts are a bit dirty. It turns out to be a real gun. Then Josiah Tong saw Li Xiaoluo's half-smiling expression, and she still didn't understand that the boss was deliberately making fun of her. Boss, you're so annoying that people don't think about all that nonsense, Joe. Josiah Tong rolled her eyes at Li Xiaoluo and hummed. Li Xiaoluo smiled and said, "What are you thinking about?" "I haven't said anything yet." Snort, Joe. Josiah Tong snorted and expressed her dissatisfaction. It would be strange for her not to be a bad example after following her boss. Then Josiah Tong looked at the gun in Li Xiaoluo's hand and said curiously, "Boss, this is a real gun. It's the first time I've seen it. I've seen it on TV before." Li Xiaoluo handed the pistol to Josiah Tong. "I'm a little afraid to take it. Will it cause fire?" Josiah Tong said timidly. In fact, let alone Josiah Tong, except for a few people who need guns in China, probably the vast majority of people have never seen a real gun, so when real guns appear in front of them, they will naturally have some concerns. Moreover, Josiah Tong and other women don't like these things very much, and they are also a little afraid of them. "It's okay. I'm here and I will teach you slowly, Joe." Josiah Tong nodded obediently, and then took the gun from Li Xiaoluo's hand. It's so heavy." The moment he got the pistol, Josiah Tong subconsciously exclaimed, "In fact, it's not that a pistol really weighs much, but just now I saw Li Xiaoluo holding it as if it didn't weigh much, so Josiah Tong thought it was very light, but after buying it, she realized that it was heavier than she thought." After Josiah Tong felt the weight of the pistol and got used to it, Li Xiaoluo began to personally teach Josiah Tong how to shoot first, how to open and close the safety, then how to load bullets, and how to aim at 3 points in one line. After Josiah Tong became familiar with it, Li Xiaoluo took her to the shooting range again. This so-called shooting range, in fact, is to open the window and let Josiah Tong shoot into the dark outside. Although he can't hit anything, he can at least experience the feeling of shooting. As for letting Josiah Tong shoot indoors, Li Xiaoluo didn't want to commit suicide. Early the next morning the sun was already shining when Li Xiaoluo and Josiah Tong got up, but they had free time anyway, and no one would disturb them anymore. Li Xiaoluo's breakfast is very rich: beef, milk, fried eggs, even the breakfast for the two dogs, General and Corn, was very good. But only then did Li Xiaoluo realize that he had the final say in this building now, and almost all of his enemies seem to be dead. It seems there is no point for Xialuo to show off his food among the owners in the future. Alice, life has lost a lot of fun. After breakfast, Xialuo used the intercom to contact the 3 women Meng Jiajia stationed on the 6th floor and was told that everything was normal. Of course, in fact, if there is something abnormal, they can't deceive Xialuo, and don't forget that Xialuo can't go downstairs immediately when he is on the 36th floor. In fact, as long as Xialuo is willing, he can instantly reach the 6th floor with a teleport. However, this is a life-saving means and a trump card, and Xialuo will not use it easily in front of others. Xialuo and Josiah Tong got dressed and started to go out. Xialuo planned to let Josiah Tong manage the logistics work here, so today he took her downstairs to get to know Meng Jiajia and the others, and to feel the outside environment. In the future, if Meng Jiajia and the others encounter any situation and Xialuo is not around, they can report it to Josiah Tong in time. Chapter 154. Wearing thick clothes, it looks a bit uncomfortable. Josiah Tong followed Xialuo out of the room. This was the first time she walked out of the safe house after the ice disaster. Feeling the cold outside the room, it took Josiah Tong a while to adapt. At this moment, Josiah Tong could deeply appreciate the happiness of following Xialuo. Now the survivors outside are enduring severe cold, hunger, and even man-made disasters every day. It can be said that survivors outside live in fear and pain every day, but Josiah Tong has never been hungry or even experienced the ice outside since the ice disaster. Xialuo has protected her from any danger. System prompts: Josiah Tong has affectionate love for the host, and the friendliness level is +1. The current friendliness level towards the host is 89. The sudden prompt from the system made Xialuo look at Josiah Tong for a moment, but it was a pity that the friendliness level did not exceed 90. However, there may be no reward for exceeding 90 this time, so Xialuo doesn't care too much. Boss, is there something on my face? Why are you looking at me all the time? When Josiah Tong saw Xialuo looking at her in a daze, she couldn't help but ask. She would have to meet outsiders later, so she couldn't make any jokes. Xialuo smiled. There's nothing wrong with your face, you are still so beautiful. No woman doesn't like to hear compliments from the man she likes, and Josiah Tong is no exception. A charming smile suddenly appeared on her face. However, Xialuo then laughed. It's just that you are wearing such thick clothes today, without high heels and black stockings to complement your tall and sexy figure, which makes me a little uncomfortable. Josiah Tong's face suddenly turned red. In fact, she also knew what her boss liked her most. She was quite tall to begin with, and her beautiful legs were long and white. If she wore high heels, even without stockings, she would still be quite sexy. Woof, 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 woof. Seeing the two masters flirting with each other, the general yelled twice impatiently, "You have forgotten what you came out for, right? You can't leave yet." "What is it called, Li?" Xialuo glared at the general. Don't think that he didn't see it just now with a shy face and tried to lick the corn, but the corn opened it with a slap. Although the general looks like Zhang Kui, with thick eyebrows and big eyes, his force value is 0 in front of corn. With one look from corn, it could only run to the side dejectedly. That's right, today Xialuo not only brought Josiah Tong with him, but also brought the 2 dogs general and corn with him. After all, dogs, like people, need some exercise occasionally. Xialuo took Josiah Tong and 2 dogs and quickly arrived at the 6th floor. Lord, 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 Lord. When the 3 women Meng Jiajia who were guarding the 6th floor saw Xialuo, they immediately walked up to Xialuo and respectfully said hello to Xialuo. Her name is Josiah Tong. From now on, you can call her Secretary Jo or Madam Lord. Hello, Madam Lord. Several women immediately said hello to Josiah Tong. Josiah Tong nodded in response, with a smile on her face, and looked very happy. Then Josiah Tong took out the insulated lunchbox he was carrying and said with a smile, "Seeing that your eyes are bloodshot, you must have been watching them all night, right? I brought you some food, you all have something to eat." What Josiah Tong was carrying was some of the leftover food that Xialuo and the others had eaten in the morning. Originally, the leftover food they ate usually went to the general. However, Josiah Tong thought that when she met her subordinates for the first time, she would like to express her concern for them, so that she could start working later. In fact, Josiah Tong's thinking is completely pre-apocalyptic thinking. Before the apocalypse, even leaders hope to have a good relationship with their subordinates and let them support their work. But in the post-apocalyptic world, There is actually no need to do this. People who are disobedient and disobey orders will not have any good results here. However, Li Xiaoluo did not stop Josiah Tong at that time, and she would get used to it gradually. Moreover, Li Xiaoluo is a person who is too lazy to bother the daily management. In the future will definitely be left to Shen Miao and Josiah Tong. Therefore, as long as the general principles and policies are in accordance with Li Xiaoluo's ideas, as for how to do detailed strategies, Li Xiaoluo, it's up to Shen Miao and Josiah Tong to do whatever they want. They want to be kind to the people below them, or who they want to train as confidants. That is their business. Thank you, Lord and Madam. The three Mengjiajia girls took the food from Josiah Tong excitedly. The food was still hot. In fact, they had not had breakfast in a long time, let alone hot food. Before, they were slave girls in Ligue, and they had very little food every day. And if they make those men unhappy, they will beat and scold them at will to vent their anger. Mengjiajia and the others thought that sooner or later they might be beaten to death by members of Alliance A, or that when they ran out of food, they would be the first to starve to death. But they did not expect that they would one day regain their freedom and be able to eat these foods. Not surprisingly, the system prompts that the friendship between Mengjiajia and the other three women has improved a lot. Li Xiaoluo glanced at the three Mengjiajia women. After being reminded by Josiah Tong just now, he discovered that all three of them did have bloodshot eyes. It was obvious that they basically didn't sleep much last night. Li Xiaoluo frowned and said, Mengjiajia, when I left, didn't I tell you three that you could take turns on duty and rest? Why don't you all seem to have had a rest? Are the people downstairs trying to cause trouble? When the three Mengjiajia girls saw Li Xiaoluo's face, they were so frightened that they didn't dare to eat any more. Mengjiajia said with some fear, Lord, it's all our fault. The people downstairs didn't actually cause trouble, but we are afraid that someone will sneak up upstairs if we have only one woman to guard the well. If you are killed by them in a sneak attack, we are no match, and we may not even be able to warn you. Although Li Xiaoluo installed a stainless door in the stairwell on the 6th floor and put a lock on it, it was still troublesome for people downstairs to come up to the 6th floor. But it's actually just a little more troublesome, not impossible. Mengjiajia and the others have all experienced the darkness of human nature in the apocalypse, so they did not dare to close their eyes last night. Li Xiaoluo thought for a while. Mengjiajia and the three women had not received any training. They were just a few ordinary weak women before. They were asked to guard the downstairs and had to be rotated. The manpower was indeed a bit short. Moreover, now that all the people in the high-rise rooms of this building have been driven downstairs by Li Xiaoluo, those empty rooms can also be used as temporary warehouses for storing supplies in the future. So the security force really needs to be strengthened. As for the solution, it's actually very simple. First, recruit more women. The more people you have, the more powerful you will be. Second, they must undergo professional training to hone their abilities and courage, otherwise it will be useless no matter how many people they have. When it comes to recruiting people, there are many women here. Yesterday, many women wanted to follow Li Xiaoluo, but Li Xiaoluo didn't want them. As for training, Li Xiaoluo doesn't have to do it himself. When enough people are recruited, he can just go to Longting Villa and bring Lin Mengxin over. Professional things should be done by professionals. Chapter 155. Boyfriend is not a relative at all. Soon, the survivors downstairs learned that Li Xiaoluo was going to recruit some more people. Li Xiaoluo's recruitment conditions are also very simple. Female, no more than 30 years old, no male relatives, courageous, good physical fitness, and need to pass the physical examination. Note, women who have been soldiers, athletes, learned martial arts, or have killed thugs after fighting doomsday will be given priority in admission, and the age can be relaxed appropriately. Now the survivors downstairs all know one thing. Li Xiaoluo has food and a gun. If you can follow Li Xiaoluo, you won't have to go hungry in the future, and you won't have to worry all day long about meeting a gang of thugs and being enslaved. Moreover, Li Xiaoluo is not as cruel as Sun Ziheo's previous gang of thugs, so you will not be harmed if you follow Li Xiaoluo. Therefore, among the surviving women in this building, almost all of them do not want to follow Li Xiaoluo. But yesterday, Li Xiaoluo only took in 3 women. Other women wanted to follow, but Li Xiaoluo did not want them. Unexpectedly, Li Xiaoluo suddenly released news today that he would continue to recruit people. Of course, there are many conditions. Regarding Li Xiaoluo's recruitment conditions, many women showed annoyed looks on their faces. Some women are overage, some are raising families, and some are afraid that their physical fitness is not good enough. But no matter what, many women want to try it, just in case they are selected. Because of the news about Li Xiaoluo's recruitment, a lot of things are happening on the floors below at this time. Let me say something here. Yesterday, Li Xiaoluo gave the floors below the 5th floor to the survivors. Although Li Xiaoluo did not stipulate who would live in which room, Chen Jianjun and the survivors actually had their own arrangements. The people from Chen Jianjun's team who worked for Li Xiaoluo yesterday all live on the 5th floor. Then there are the people from Liu Dazhuang's team. They all live on the 4th floor. Although these two teams only worked for Li Xiaoluo for one day yesterday, they no longer belong to Li Xiaoluo and are free individuals again. But after all, they have been through life and death, and they still have some tacit understanding with each other, so their team and relatives all live on the same floor. After all, everyone is familiar with each other, so conflicts are less likely to arise. And they can take care of each other when in danger. Finally, those survivors who had never been with Li Xiaoluo could only live on the 3rd floor. In fact, everyone knows that living at the bottom will be the first to be unlucky when there are intruders. But they have no choice. The 5th floor at this time, at Chen Jianjun's house, a woman in her 20s looked around in the corridor and saw that no one was there, then quietly knocked on Chen Jianjun's door. Who? Chen Jianjun's deep voice sounded in the room. Although Chen Jianjun is familiar with the people who live on the 5th floor, after experiencing the apocalypse for so long, Chen Jianjun knows that it is right to be careful even if they were companions who fought together before, but now they are living their own lives. They are still unpredictable. Uncle Chen, I am Liu Xiaolu. I have something to ask you for help. After a moment of silence in the room, the door opened. It's Xiaolu. What's the matter with you? It was Chen Jianjun's wife Zhang Miang who opened the door, but Chen Jianjun was standing behind Zhang Miang, and Chen Jianjun just saw through the peephole that Liu Xiaolu was alone, so he let his wife open the door. Hello, Uncle Chen. Hello, Auntie. Liu Xiaolu stood at the door and greeted Chen Jianjun and his wife politely. Xiaolu, come in and talk. Liu Xiaolu was alone. Zhang Miang had nothing to be afraid of and quickly let Liu Xiaolu into the house. After the end of the world, they don't dare to keep the door open. Xiaolu, Xiaolu asked you to come here? Did something happen to him? Chen Jianjun looked at Liu Xiaolu and asked, if there is nothing more important after the apocalypse, no one will casually visit other people's homes. Xiaolu in Chen Jianjun's mouth is called Wang Wei, who is Liu Xiaolu's boyfriend. In fact, Chen Jianjun was not familiar with Wang Wei and Liu Xiaolu before the end of the world. They did not live on the same floor. They only met occasionally in the elevator and were considered acquaintances. But yesterday Wang Wei was Chen Jianjun's team member, and yesterday he was a comrade who had experienced life and death together. Moreover, the house they chose yesterday was next door, so they became familiar with each other through yesterday's familiarity. Chen Jianjun also had some understanding of the young couple Wang Wei and Liu Xiaolu. Both of them are very young, only in their 20s. They met at work and have lived together for more than a year, but they are not married yet. Later, Liu Xiaolu quit her job and became a freelancer at home. In fact, she basically relied on Wang Wei to support her. When Li Xiaoluo rewarded them with some food yesterday, except for Chen Jianjun, he didn't eat any of it and kept it for his wife and daughter at home. Then there was Wang Wei, who basically didn't eat anything and wanted to keep it for his girlfriend Liu Xiaolu at home. So Chen Jianjun actually has a good impression of that young man Wang Wei. Now seeing Liu Xiaolu coming to the door alone, Chen Jianjun thought something had happened to Wang Wei. If he could be of any help, Chen Jianjun still planned to help. Uncle Chen, Wang Wei is fine. I have something to do with you. Please help me. Liu Xiaolu shook her head and said that Wang Wei was fine. Even when she heard Wang Wei's name, a trace of embarrassment flashed across her face, but Liu Xiaolu soon made up her mind. She looked at Chen Jianjun and continued, Uncle Chen, did you see the recruitment message that Mr. Li Xiaolu upstairs just sent? Chen Jianjun nodded, as if he had guessed something. Liu Xiaolu looked at Chen Jianjun with a longing look on her face. Uncle Chen, I want to follow Li Xiaolu upstairs. You are familiar with Li Xiaolu, can you help me? Although Chen Jianjun had already made a guess, he did not expect Liu Xiaolu to really have such an idea. He didn't know what to say. For a moment Zhang Miang next to her said, Xiaolu, it's not that my old Chen won't help you, but Mr. Li Xiaoluo's recruitment requirements clearly stated that there cannot be male relatives. If you have Wang Wei, you should not be able to meet the requirements. You also know Mr. Li Xiaoluo's style. We don't dare to deceive him. Liu Xiaolu immediately said, no, Wang Wei is my temporary boyfriend. I just break up with him. He can't be considered a relative of mine at all. When Chen Jianjun heard this, he really wanted to slap Liu Xialuo twice, but he held back. I just feel a little unworthy for Wang Wei. Xialuo, I'm sorry. In fact, I am the temporary employee of Mr. Li Xialuo. I have no face with him at all, so I really can't help you in any way. HMPH, Chen Jianjun, what excuse are you making for me if you don't help me? I can take the exam myself and pass. After I follow Mr. Li Xiaoluo, don't ask me to help you in the future. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelists. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 156, Liu Dazhuang and Tan Jingjing. Meanwhile, on the 4th floor, Liu Dazhuang came to room 406. Liu Dazhuang himself lived in room 405, and there were 2 women living in room 406, one of whom was Tan Jingjing. Tan Jingjing is one of the female prisoners Liu Dazhuang rescued from Alliance A yesterday, but Tan Jingjing should have known Liu Dazhuang before the end of the world. She has been with Liu Dazhuang since she was rescued yesterday, and they seem to have a very close relationship. In fact, Liu Dazhuang did know Tan Jingjing before the end, because the 2 of them lived on the same floor across from each other. Then Liu Dazhuang was an otaku before his last days and knew few girls. Although Tan Jingjing is not too beautiful, she knows how to dress up before the end of the world. Every time she wears something cool and sexy, she appears in Liu Dazhuang's dreams countless times. However, before the apocalypse, although Liu Dazhuang and Tan Jingjing knew each other, Liu Dazhuang was the kind of person with a thief heart but no courage. Every time they met, he dared to say hello to Tan Jingjing, and then occasionally help Tan Jingjing. In that way, he can have a happy day, but he still didn't dare to confess to Tan Jingjing, and Tan Jingjing has never thought about taking a step further with Liu Dazhuang. He is not even a spare tire. It can only be regarded as a relatively familiar neighbor, and then you can use it for free. But there were too many such men around her before the end, so Liu Dazhuang didn't attract her attention at all. But yesterday, the people of Alliance A were defeated, and it was Liu Dazhuang who led the team into the room and took away all the women. This surprised Tan Jingjing, and she immediately pretended to be pitiful in front of Liu Dazhuang, and acted like she enjoyed Liu Dazhuang's protection. Liu Dazhuang was naturally very happy that Tan Jingjing was close to him, so he took great care of Tan Jingjing. However, later on, Tan Jingjing realized that Liu Dazhuang actually did not have much power at all. Nor was he very powerful even. They were just temporary workers recruited by Li Xiaoluo. They were fired by Li Xiaoluo in the evening, and they were just ordinary people from now on. So Tan Jingjing unknowingly distanced herself from Liu Dazhuang again. It's just that Liu Dazhuang didn't feel it himself. He was still in contact with a beauty. Tan Jingjing. Even the 4th floor was originally occupied by people or family members of Liu Dazhuang's team. People like Tan Jingjing could only live in the more dangerous 3rd floor with other survivors, but Liu Dazhuang took advantage of his prestige as a captain and gave the room next to his to Tan Jingjing. Naturally, Tan Jingjing did not refuse, but invited her best sister Dai Linlin to live with her. In fact, she wanted to get the benefits Liu Dazhuang gave her and wanted Liu Dazhuang to continue treating her well, but she didn't want to really follow Liu Dazhuang at this time. Tan Jingjing and Dai Linlin were talking at Tan Jingjing's house. Dai Linlin, Jingjing, do you really want to go upstairs to take the assessment? Tan Jingjing nodded and said, of course I want to go. After we left Ligue A, no one will support us. Now Li Xiaoluo is the most powerful in our building and he has the most food, so I naturally want to follow him. Dai Linlin smiled and said, who said no one will support you? Did it that Liu Dazhuang say he wants to support you? If you want to go upstairs, he will definitely not agree, right? Tan Jingjing snorted coldly. Huh? That fat guy and I are still ordinary friends. Why shouldn't he agree to where I want to go? Dai Linlin smiled. Okay, Jingjing, you can figure it out by yourself, then we will go up to take the assessment together later. If Jingjing, you can really follow Li Xiaoluo, don't forget me in the future. Tan Jingjing said calmly, that's natural. You are my best sister and the most trusted person. I will naturally take care of you if something good happens. Just like living here now, if I don't call you, can you live here? Is it on the 4th floor? Dai Linlin nodded quickly. Hey, I knew you were the best. Jingjing. Boom. Suddenly, there was a knock on Tan Jingjing's door. Jingjing, it's me, Liu Dazhuang's voice came from outside the door. There was a squeak. The door of Tan Jingjing's house opened, and Tan Jingjing stood in front of Liu Dazhuang handsomely. Brother Dazhuang, are you here? Tan Jingjing seemed very happy when she saw Liu Dazhuang. Liu Dazhuang felt happy and warm in his heart. Then Liu Dazhuang handed Tan Jingjing a few pieces of bread, a few packets of instant noodles and a few bottles of water in his hand. Jingjing, you don't have much food or water. You must be hungry now. I'll bring you some food. As soon as she heard about the food, Tan Jingjing's eyes showed a glimmer of light, and Dai Linlin in the room also ran out. Her eyes lit up when she looked at the food in Liu Dazhuang's hand. At this time, no one will refuse food. Even if they have it at home, it is better to get more according to the current market conditions. The food in Liu Dazhuang's hands is enough to buy Tan Jingjing and Dai Linlin, but Tan Jingjing thought for a moment, then shook her head and said, Brother Dazhuang, food is too precious now, I can't take it. This may be your life-saving material in the future. Dai Linlin looked at Tan Jingjing in surprise. She probably didn't expect that Tan Jingjing would say this. Even Liu Dazhuang didn't expect it, but at the same time he was very moved and thought Tan Jingjing was a good girl. Liu Dazhuang smiled naively and said, Jingjing, you know that I shared a lot of food yesterday. So don't be polite to me. Otherwise, you won't be able to survive without food. Tan Jingjing's face suddenly showed a look of hesitation. Then she glanced at Liu Dazhuang and then stopped talking. Liu Dazhuang noticed Tan Jingjing's abnormality and immediately said, Jingjing, do you still have any difficulties? Just tell me and I will help you as long as I can do it. Tan Jingjing paused for a while, then gritted her teeth and said, Brother Dazhuang, I really can't keep asking for your food, otherwise it will hurt you. So, I want to go to Mr. Li Xiaoluo's assessment upstairs. Follow Mr. Li Xiaoluo. Brother Dazhuang, you were the captain under Mr. Li Xiaoluo before. You should be familiar with Mr. Li Xiaoluo. Can you help me? What? You want to go upstairs? No. And the boss doesn't hire women with male relatives. Liu Dazhuang subconsciously objected, but soon, Liu Dazhuang realized that he didn't seem to have that kind of relationship with Tan Jingjing, but Liu Dazhuang still shook his head. Jingjing, in fact, I am not familiar with the boss, so I really can't help you. Jingjing, don't worry, I will definitely go out to get a lot of food. I can feed you, so don't go. Is it good upstairs? Tan Jingjing glanced at Liu Dazhuang. In fact, he had no idea that in addition to food, there was also a sense of security and status. There was no way that Liu Dazhuang could compete with Li Xiaoluo, but White Lotus will naturally maintain a good persona in front of her spare tire. So Tan Jingjing was moved and said, Brother Dazhuang, actually I don't trust any man now. I only know that you are really good to me. In fact, I don't want to go to Li Xiaoluo's place, but I don't want to hurt you, and I don't want to be you. Burden. Liu Dazhuang immediately shook his head and said, Jingjing, you are not a burden to me. I will never let you go hungry. Just wait, our team decided to go out to look for food today, and we will definitely find a lot of food. You wait for me to come back. Well, Brother Dazhuang. More than half an hour later, some young men from Liu Dazhuang's team were fully armed and went out for an adventure at Tan Jingjing's house. Dai Linlin looked at Tan Jingjing and said, Jingjing, it's almost time to go upstairs for the assessment. I'm going to go up. Why don't you go? Tan Jingjing stood up. Who said I won't go? I just said casually to that fat man Liu Dazhuang, do you really think I will wait stupidly for him to go out to find food? And even if he can find food, he has the ability to hold on to it. Are you capable of protecting my safety? Chapter 157 The Effect of a Bowl of Beef Noodles. Noon, 6th floor. Meng Jiaji opened the lock on the stairwell door, and then a group of women who had been waiting at the stairwell on the 5th floor immediately went upstairs. In fact, the people waiting on the 5th floor were not only the group of women who couldn't wait to go upstairs to take the assessment, but also some men and women watching the excitement. These men and women watching the excitement are actually very envious of the women who can go up and take the assessment because they are not even qualified to take the assessment. In fact, many people hope that Li Xiaoluo can be like the previous league, and the core members are all men. In this case, when most of the young and strong men in this building are dead, they should all have the opportunity to follow Li Xiaoluo, but they never expected that Li Xiaoluo would only recruit women. Not even a man. They don't know what Li Xiaoluo thinks. It can be said that Li Xiaoluo is purely lustful and only recruits women for his own enjoyment, but it seems that Li Xiaoluo doesn't just look for beauty when recruiting women. Some beautiful women actively want to follow him, but Li Xiaoluo doesn't want them. Let's say Li Xiaoluo is ambitious. He wants to become a large force like Alliance A, so he keeps recruiting troops, But what's the use of recruiting some women? But no matter what the people watching the fun downstairs think, Li Xiaoluo's recruitment upstairs has started. Chen Jianjun looked upstairs on the 5th floor with a trace of confusion on his face. He looked at Zhang Miang beside him and said, "Honey, why don't you also go to the 6th floor and try?" Zhang Miang glared at Chen Jianjun. "Old Chen, what did you say, Chen?" Jianjun said with sadness in his eyes, "I'm serious, I hope you can live happily with your daughter. Although we got a little food yesterday, we can't eat it for many days. I will definitely have to go out to look for food by then, and I don't know. After going outside, can you still come back alive, and survivors from outside may come to invade us. I don't know if I can resist it then. In today's world, everyone is killing and plundering each other in order to survive. If you want to survive, going upstairs is the best option." "Okay, stop talking." Zhang Miang interrupted Chen Jianjun. "Don't mention that Mr. Li Xiaoluo's recruitment conditions are clear. He does not recruit women with male relatives, even if you recruit, I won't go. If something happens to you, our family will be gone. What's the point of me and my daughter continuing to live? So no matter what happens, our family will together, never apart." Meng Jiajia took all the women who participated in the assessment to the 6th floor. When they saw Li Xiaoluo, the women who were originally very excited on their faces became serious. Now in this building, Li Xiaoluo exists like an ancient emperor, and everyone is afraid of him from the bottom of their hearts. At the same time, this group of women also saw Zhou Xiaotuang next to Li Xiaoluo. Many women who had some small thoughts in their hearts suddenly felt a little ashamed of themselves, because now compared with Zhou Xiaotuang, they were like white swans and ugly ducklings. In fact, if it were before the end of the world, there would be some pretty women in this group of women, plus they knew how to dress up, and were sought after by countless lickers on weekdays. They were all very confident, but in this apocalypse, their figures are almost out of shape due to hunger, and they have never washed themselves, let alone put on makeup, so you can imagine their current appearance in front of the nourished and beautiful Zhou Xiaotuang. What are they if they are not ugly ducklings? Lord, Madam, all the people who participated in the assessment have been brought here. There are 28 people in total. After Meng Jiajia brought the women up, she immediately ran to Li Xiaoluo and Zhou Xiaotuang to report the situation. Li Xiaoluo did not expect that so many women would come up, but he knew that many of these women would not meet the conditions. The members he recruited this time were members of his Taoyuan leader. Although they were only temporary members, they still had to pass a 1-month assessment period if they wanted to become regular members. But Li Xiaoluo will definitely not recruit anyone like Chen Jianjun and others as temporary workers yesterday. Meng Jiajia, please bring out the food first and let them all eat something first. Yes, Lord, Meng Jiajia responded, and then hurriedly went to bring the food with her other 2 team members. But this group of women who came to take the assessment did not expect that they would have food to eat as soon as they came up, and they all looked excited. Sure enough, it's better to follow Mr. Li Xiaoluo, and soon, Meng Jiajia's 3 daughters came up with food. The food at noon is actually very simple, a big bowl of braised beef noodles. The red soup base is still steaming. It is really appetizing in such weather, especially for this group of women. They haven't had hot food in an unknown amount of time, not to mention the beef noodles, which are so delicious. The reason why Li Xiaoluo asked these women to come up for the assessment at noon and gave them food before the evaluation was done was not because Li Xiaoluo was kind-hearted and pitied them. Li Xiaoluo actually did this for several purposes. First, since physical fitness is to be assessed, these women must be allowed to recover a little bit of their physical strength. Otherwise some talents may be buried. Second, what Li Charlotte values most when recruiting people is actually women with a high degree of friendliness, but these women have nothing to do with Li Charlotte, so the friendliness of most people is around 40. This kind of friendliness only meets the requirements of being cannon fodder, but it certainly does not meet the requirements of joining the Taoyuan collar. Therefore, when Li Xiaoluo recruits people in the future, he will give them a meal first. In this way, if a woman knows how to be grateful, her friendliness will naturally increase. As for women who are ungrateful, there is no need to take part in a subsequent assessment, because even if they are talented people, they are not qualified to follow Li Xiaoluo. Thirdly, it naturally reflects his treatment here and gives these women more motivation to stay, and even if most women are eliminated, Li Xiaoluo can still make his reputation known. It will be much easier to recruit people or temporary cannon fodder in the future. Let Meng Jiajia and the others take the group of women to eat in the corridor. Li Xiaoluo and Zhou Xiaotuang also went into the same room to eat. The food they ate was naturally better after lunch. Li Xiaoluo and Josiah Tong came to the group of women again. At this time, the eyes of many women looking at Li Xiaoluo were indeed different. There was gratitude and enthusiasm. In short, they wanted to stay with Li Xiaoluo even more. However, Li Xiaoluo soon began the first cruel assessment. The first level is the interview with the exploring eye. Every woman has to come up to Li Xiaoluo and say her name. This makes many women confused. Just say a name. Shouldn't you introduce your age, skills, etc. in detail? But Li Xiaoluo is God. Whatever he says will be whatever he says. Hello, Sir Charlotte, my name is Wang Yan. The first woman walked up to Li Xiaoluo, bowed deeply, and then spoke nervously. Wang Yan, friendliness level 65, potential value 18, special ability, none. Well, you passed the first level. Thank you, Master Charlotte. Hello, sir, my name is Liu Xiaoluo. Liu Xiaoluo, friendliness level 42, potential value 12, special ability, none. You're eliminated. Chapter 158. Go away, don't waste my time. Hearing that she was eliminated like this, Liu Xiaoluo's face turned very ugly. She had just observed that she looked no worse than the woman named Wang Yan in front of her, no matter in terms of height or appearance. I don't seem to be inferior to that woman, right? And he only mentioned one name, so why was he eliminated? Although Liu Xiaoluo was deeply dissatisfied, she did not dare to show any dissatisfaction on her face. This is not about going to a company to interview for a job at the end of the world. If she had been treated like this during a job interview before the end of the world, she would have dared to point at the interviewer's nose and scold him, then slam the door and leave. But now Li Xiaoluo is the master of this building. Unless Liu Xiaoluo thinks she has a long life, she will still smile with her face even if she is humiliated by Li Xiaoluo. But Liu Xiaoluo is still very unwilling to be eliminated like this. So unfair. Moreover, the food and life here in Li Xiaoluo really made her reluctant to leave. Lord Charlotte, Chen Jianjun is my uncle and we have a very good relationship. Please give me another chance. I will definitely work hard in the future and I will do whatever you ask me to do. Li Xiaoluo looked at the woman and said coldly, go away, don't waste my time. I'm recruiting people here, and no one's connections will work. Liu Xiaoluo was so frightened that she didn't dare to say anything, and quickly and consciously walked to the eliminated team to stand. Seeing that Liu Xiaoluo only said her name and was eliminated, the women behind them suddenly became nervous. The reason for this is because they really want to follow Li Xiaoluo now. They want to be Li Xiaoluo's people even more than when they came up before. This is the power of the bowl of beef noodles that Li Xiaoluo gave them just now. After the end of the world, it is no longer just a bowl of delicious beef noodles, but also represents Li Xiaoluo's wealth at the same time. It also means that not only will you not be harmed by following Li Xiaoluo, but you can also live a very good life. This is just like jobs before the end of the world. Poor jobs may not be able to recruit people, but good jobs may require many people to compete. Then the interview continues. Tang Guo, friendliness level 69, potential value 16, special ability, none. You passed. 10. Jingjing, friendliness level 41, potential value 15, special ability, none. You're eliminated. 10. Was stunned for a moment. Before coming up, Tan Jingjing found a way to get some water to clean her face, and then found some cosmetics to dress herself up beautifully. Unexpectedly, Li Xiaoluo was eliminated in exchange for a light word. In fact, when she came up, Tan Jingjing also thought that she might fail the physical test, so Tan Jingjing also wanted to use Liu Dazhuang to get closer to Li Xiaoluo, but she didn't expect that she would be eliminated after just saying her name, and because of Liu Xiaoluo's lesson just now, Tan Jingjing didn't dare to mention Liu Dazhuang because it is of no use at all. It only took a few minutes and the first interview was over. Of the 28 women who came up, 13 were eliminated at the first level. The eliminated women were naturally not qualified to stay on the 6th floor any longer. Li Xiaoluo asked Meng Jiajie to take all the eliminated women downstairs. As for the 15 women who passed the first level of assessment, Li Xiaoluo handed it over to Josiah Tong to continue the subsequent assessments on them. The beautiful secretary is there to help Li Xiaoluo solve his problems, and Li Xiaoluo never liked dealing with these trivial matters. The reason why he came to the first level in person was because he was the only one who could see the friendliness of each woman. As long as the recruited women can pass the test in a friendly manner, other abilities are irrelevant to Li Xiaoluo. Of course, apart from Josiah Tong's loyalty to each woman, she could not see it. As for other abilities, the results could be obtained through assessment. For example, Li Xialuo now mainly recruits female combat soldiers and women who manage logistics. As for female combat soldiers, they naturally need women with good physical fitness, so while at Longting Villa, Lin Mengson formulated a recruitment assessment standard unique to Taoyuan territory based on the physical fitness assessment standards for recruiting female soldiers before the apocalypse, and based on the current situation and environment of survivors after the apocalypse. Similarly, personnel in the logistics department also have assessment standards. Josiah Tong only needs to take the assessment according to the standards. A woman who can pass the assessment will naturally not be too poor in ability in the end. Of the 15 women who participated in the second round of assessment, 7 women passed the female soldier assessment and 5 women passed the logistics department assessment. There were 3 other women who were naturally eliminated. This is because Li Xiaoluo has recruited more places this time. Otherwise more people will definitely be eliminated. But no matter what, out of the 28 women who came up, 12 women finally passed the assessment. You can imagine the excitement in the hearts of these 12 women. No matter how good the job is before the end of the world, if you don't get an interview, then you'll just have to find another job. But in this situation, many women actually know in their hearts that the success or failure of this assessment may mean life or death. At least for women who pass the assessment, if they follow Li Xiaoluo in the future, their chances of survival will be greatly increased, and those women who have not passed the assessment can only continue to face their food and survival crises. 5th floor. When he saw Liu Xiaolu and Tan Jingjing, the women who had been eliminated at the first level, coming downstairs, Chen Jianjin felt very complicated. In fact, in his heart, he hoped that Liu Xiaolu and Tan Jingjing could pass the assessment. In that case, he might not be so entangled because Liu Xiaolu is the girlfriend of his teammate Wang Wei. But Wang Wei may not know what Liu Xiaolu has done yet. He didn't even know whether he should tell Wang Wei. The same goes for Tan Jingjing. Chen Jianjin and Liu Dazhuang have a pretty good relationship after fighting side by side yesterday. As for the relationship between Liu Dazhuang and Tan Jingjing yesterday, he could see it as long as he was not blind. But he didn't expect that Tan Jingjing would also go to the 6th floor to take the assessment today. You said that if Liu Xiaolu and Tan Jingjing pass the assessment, then they will all be Li Xiaoluo's subordinates from now on, and they will basically have nothing to do with the people downstairs, so there is no need to think too much. But Liu Xiaolu and Tan Jingjing failed, so Chen Jianjin didn't know whether to tell Wang Wei and Liu Dazhuang about this. Tell them, Liu Xiaolu and Tan Jingjing are miserable enough. If they have conflicts with Wang Wei and Liu Dazhuang again, those 2 women may not be able to survive. But let's not talk about it. Chen Jianjin seemed to feel a little sorry for Wang Wei and Liu Dazhuang. Chapter 159. Beautiful Woman Zhao Min. In the afternoon, after arranging the work and guard tasks of Meng Jiajia and the others, Li Xiaoluo took Josiah Tong back to the 36th floor. After opening the door and entering the room, Josiah Tong immediately felt what it means to be in a world of ice and fire. There are 2 worlds inside and outside the room, and the temperature is too different. After Josiah Tong took off his clothes, he quickly served Li Xiaoluo to take off his clothes and put on clean shoes at home. But when he bent down to take the shoes from the shoe cabinet, Josiah Tong seemed to have thought of something, and his face immediately turned red. Unfortunately, Li Xiaoluo didn't pay attention and didn't do anything he loved today. Swish swish. After Josiah Tong returned home, she immediately took out the walkie-talkie given by Li Xiaoluo, and then pressed the call button to contact the person opposite. Meng Jiajia, I am Josiah Tong. Can you hear me over there? Mom, I can hear you. Okay, if you can't contact me on your mobile phone, just use the walkie-talkie to report anything to me. Yes, Mom. Li Xiaoluo temporarily handed over the management of Meng Jiajia and the others to Josiah Tong. Josiah Tong was actually quite happy. After all, there were few entertainment activities after the apocalypse, and it would be quite boring if there was nothing to do. And she also wants to solve the boss's problems as much as possible, and doesn't want to just be a vase. So although it was very cold outside, Josiah Tong was in a very good mood when she came back from the outside and was very motivated at work. And going outside for the first time today also allowed her to see how the survivors outside lived. At noon, she simply made a bowl of beef noodles, but she saw the shock of all the women when they saw that bowl of beef noodles. And many women even cried. Maybe they didn't expect that they could still eat such delicious food. One can imagine what kind of life they lived before. And Josiah Tong thought about herself. She had been staying at home with her boss since the ice disaster. She was extremely happy every day, and her food, clothing, and supplies were even better than before the apocalypse. As a result, she has to exercise every day to stay in shape, so sometimes Josiah Tong is really lucky. Before the end of the world, She chose to be taken care of by her boss. It was probably the most correct decision in her life. Josiah Tong chatted with Meng Jiajia through the walkie-talkie for a few words, and then ended the call seeing Li Xiaoluo sitting on the sofa playing with her mobile phone. Josiah Tong walked to Li Xiaoluo and sat down, then snuggled into Li Xiaoluo's arms and said, "Boss, Meng Jiajia and the others now have a total of 10 female soldiers. They plan to divide them into 2 groups, and then take turns guarding the door to the 6th floor in 2 shifts. In this way, they have 5 people in each class. Even if there is an enemy invasion downstairs, they can completely resist it for a while, so those who are resting can rest peacefully. Then according to your request, the logistics department is set up on the 18th floor now. The 5 people in the logistics department are sorting out the food and supplies left behind by the former Alliance A stronghold. When they finish counting the food and supplies at the Alliance A stronghold, I will give them to them. The assigned task is to prepare food for the female soldiers every day, and then start searching for food and useful supplies from house to house." Josiah Tong was actually reporting work to her boss, and also wanted to hear if her boss had any opinions on her arrangements, but Li Xiaoluo usually doesn't bother to care about such small things, so I continued to play with my phone without expressing any opinions at all. Josiah Tong continued to worry about himself. The trouble now is that the elevator can't be used. It's inconvenient to go downstairs, so it's a bit troublesome to know the working situation of the people below in real time. I can only contact them through communication. And I don't know will they be honest. After all, the team members downstairs were all newly recruited. Li Xiaoluo knew that these women were loyal, but Josiah Tong didn't know that, so in this situation where it was difficult to supervise, she actually didn't know what the working conditions of the people below would be like, especially those women who belong to the logistics department. According to pre-apocalyptic terms, their positions are the most likely to breed corruption. If they stole something and hide it, it would be difficult for Li Xiaoluo and Josiah Tong to know. Of course, Josiah Tong is actually not a stingy person, nor does he insist on catching anyone who makes a mistake. It's just that food and materials after the apocalypse are very precious. Now these things belong to Li Xiaoluo. Since the boss has entrusted her with the management of people, she naturally has to think about the boss originally. If she could go out and supervise more, those people below might not dare to do anything fishy. However, Josiah Tong also knew that not only was it too troublesome to go up and downstairs, but also for safety reasons, so the boss did not let her supervise the work below. In fact, Li Xiaoluo really didn't pay much attention to these things. If they were the leader of another team, they would definitely pay great attention to the supplies downstairs, because those supplies might be their life. But for Li Xiaoluo, he didn't care about those supplies at all. Otherwise, he would not have allowed the survivors to take away all their belongings when they moved, and the female team members downstairs had better not have any inappropriate thoughts. First of all, as long as Li Xiaoluo wants to, he can monitor their every move through a drone. Secondly, if they have any strange thoughts in their hearts, their friendship will be reduced, and Li Xiaoluo will naturally know it immediately. However, Li Xiaoluo thought about it and decided to let the team run everything on its own as much as possible, including supervision. You can't rely on Li Xiaoluo to discover everything yourself. Li Xiaoluo doesn't want to have to work hard on everything. Such small things will waste his energy. Therefore, systematic supervision can only be used as his last trump card. The team still needs to rely on the women under him to manage it normally. Thinking of this, Li Xiaoluo decided to go to Longting Villa to bring Lin Mengxin over. Because Lin Mengxin is here, she can not only train the female soldiers here, but also act as Josiah Tong's bodyguard, so that Josiah Tong can go downstairs to inspect the work at any time. Normal things to do with a management team. It can be said that it accomplishes multiple things with one stone. So after talking to Josiah Tong, Li Xiaoluo came to Longting Villa number 1 through the portal. Opening the door, Li Xiaoluo came out of the study room of the villa, and happened to see Xiaomin cleaning the wall with her plump buttocks raised. Li Xiaoluo didn't know whether Xiaomin was a professional at work, but Xiaomin was wearing tight jeans, with plump and round buttocks, and she kept twisting while wiping. Li Xiaoluo looks very eye-catching, and this posture is indeed quite attractive, and when he opened the door and came out just now, there should have been some movement, but Xiaomin didn't seem to hear it, still working hard with her plump butt raised. Are you sure this wasn't intentional? But it seems that this beautiful woman Xiaomin was originally entrusted to him by Mr. Du, and she is already regarded as Li Xiaoluo's person, so it seems reasonable for Li Xiaoluo to do something. Chapter 160. So you were just playing hard to get? To be honest, among the women living in Villa number 1 of Longting here, the most beautiful one with the best figure is definitely Shen Miaomio, but the other beauties also have their own merits. Qin Yumi's charm, Liu Wangxi's intelligence, Zhao Min, on the other hand, is mature and elegant, like a mature and beautiful young woman, which makes men so excited that they can't help but want to conquer her. Moreover, Zhao Min has the tallest figure among the girls and is very beautiful. Especially with her noble, elegant and mature temperament, she is definitely a top beauty. Therefore, except for Shen Miao, many women in the villa are very beautiful, but the one that makes Li Xiaoluo's heart move the most, well, in fact, it was the woman who made him most impulsive, and Zhao Min was the first to bear the brunt after all. In addition to Zhao Min's status as a wife, Zhao Min is indeed too beautiful and alluring before the end of the world. Who wouldn't want such a top-notch beauty? But let alone think about it, it is difficult for ordinary people to see it well. Li Xiaoluo felt that he was thinking a little too much. Li Xiaoluo walked towards Zhao Min. However, Li Xiaoluo was even more certain that Zhao Min was acting. Maybe he was deliberately seducing himself, because not only was he very close to Zhao Min, but the sound of his footsteps was also quite obvious. But Zhao Min was still cleaning the house seriously, and her beautiful buttocks were upright and swaying, which made people even more imaginative. Snap! Li Xiaoluo suddenly slapped the round and plump surface, making a loud sound. Ah! Zhao Min exclaimed, but the sound was not very loud. After seeing clearly that it was Li Xiaoluo standing behind him, Zhao Min immediately showed a blush on his face. She looked at Li Xiaoluo with a face full of panic and shyness. Lord, why are you like this? And if my wife or others see it, we won't be able to explain it. Haha. If it weren't for the suspicion in his heart, Li Xiaoluo would really believe her. Explain? Why do you need to explain? You are my woman now, aren't you? Dialong personally entrusted you to me. Li Xiaoluo had a smile on his face, but his eyes when looking at Zhao Min were full of possessiveness, as if he wanted to swallow her directly. Although I don't know why Zhao Min did this, Zhao Min's friendship has not declined, so Li Xiaoluo doesn't bother to care about the reason since Zhao Min has her own ideas. I will fully cooperate with her. Zhao Min seemed to understand what Li Xiaoluo's eyes meant. Like a frightened little rabbit, she quickly got up and wanted to leave this place of right and wrong, but Li Xiaoluo quickly took a few steps forward, took Zhao Min's hand and pulled her into the study room where Li Xiaoluo came out just now. Regardless of whether Zhao Min is playing hard to get or just trying to be ambiguous, Li Xiaoluo is a cheerful person. Lord, what do you want to do? Zhao Min in the study looked at Li Xiaoluo nervously, as if he couldn't believe that Li Xiaoluo would come. Zhao Min said anxiously, Lord, please don't mess around. Your wife will see you. Miao is at villa number 3 right now. She won't be back for a while. So you deliberately seduced me. In fact, Li Xiaoluo didn't even need to release the drone. He just used the system's monitoring to see that Shen Miao was at villa number 3. Zhao Min was startled. She didn't expect that the Lord knew that Madame and the others were not on the villa, and also knew that she did it on purpose. Just now Zhao Min's beautiful face suddenly turned redder. Okay, she may have overacted just now, but Zhao Min did not expect that Li Xiaoluo's reaction would be more excessive and direct. It seemed like she wasn't ready yet, but just when Zhao Min was stunned, Li Xiaoluo stretched out his hand, and then pressed the mature and beautiful woman on the desk from behind. Lord, you can't do this. I'm not trying to seduce you. If you do this again, I'll call you. Yes, your acting skills of resisting and welcoming are good, and it really makes you feel better this way. Keep up the good work. Li Xiaoluo didn't know what Zhao Min was thinking, but since she was seducing him just now, that was enough. System. Prompt. Zhao Min's intimacy with the host has increased. Her friendliness is +15, and her current friendliness with the host is 85. Time passes. The movement in the study also completely calmed down, but the messy scene in the room made it clear at a glance that a lot of movement had just happened here in the luxurious and huge study room of villa number 1. There are not only many bookshelves and collections of books, but also a reception room and even a lounge. In fact, Zhao Min has not entered this study yet, because it is a forbidden area and no one can enter at will without Li Xiaoluo's permission. But just now Li Xiaoluo held Zhao Min and visited every place in the study. She confirmed that there seemed to be no mysterious places in the study, and she didn't know why Li Xiaoluo said it as a forbidden place at this time. Zhao Min was lying limply on Li Xiaoluo's body on the big bed in the study lounge, with a small blanket covering her graceful body. But the short blanket could only cover her body, and her long, white legs were almost completely exposed at this time. Zhao Min's eyes were full of confusion, and his face was full of touching blush. After Zhao Min felt that she was alive again, she looked at Li Xiaoluo with a hint of fear in her eyes, and at the same time, there was also a hint of complexity in which she wanted to cry without tears. She really didn't expect things to turn out so quickly, but when he felt Li Xiaoluo's eyes again, Zhao Min was so frightened that he quickly surrendered and said, "No, you are really too powerful. I have no strength at all now, so just spare me." Although Li Xiaoluo did not speak at this moment, there was a knowing smile on his face. Men actually care about this. Although Zhou Ziatuang and Shen Miao also said such words, hearing it from Zhao Min, a mature and dignified beautiful woman, still made Li Xiaoluo feel a sense of accomplishment. "You really wanted to seduce me outside before, Li." Xiaoluo didn't really want to continue tormenting Zhao Min, so he started to find a topic. Zhao Min blushed and nodded. It was like this anyway, and she had nothing to admit. Li Xiaoluo was a little surprised. He really didn't expect Zhao Min to be such a proactive woman, so when we were in the study just now, we were just playing hard to get. Seeing Li Xiaoluo's eyes, Zhao Min quickly blushed and continued to explain. "It was all the idea given to me by that guy Mengson. I originally thought that everyone who followed you seemed to have their own abilities, but I seemed to be the only one who didn't know anything. You arranged for me to follow Xiaolu and do some dishes washing and the like. I don't know how to do a lot of chores, so I was worried that you would think I was useless and drive me away. Then I asked Mengson to find a way to see if she could teach me some skills, but Lin Mengson said that it is definitely too late to learn skills now, so I can only deliberately create a little ambiguity with you first, so that you will not drive me away. And with Mrs. Miao here, you will not really do anything to me." Chapter 161. Find a companion for Zhou Ziatuang. It turns out that everything was Lin Mengxin's suggestion, the culprit, but Li Xiaoluo didn't expect that Zhao Min would really follow Lin Mengxin's suggestion. But it's no wonder that Zhao Min has a sense of crisis. Before the end of the world, she was a model and a beauty pageant champion. After marrying Du Yaolong, she became a super lady. She only had to be responsible for her beauty every day, but in this post-apocalyptic world, it seems that apart from her beauty, she really has no ability to take action. Li Xiaoluo arranged for her to work with Zhao Xiaolu, but she couldn't even wash dishes and couldn't compare to a middle school student. How could she not feel a sense of crisis? Because after this apocalypse, Zhao Min and the others experienced some bad things in their own villain number 3. And later they also saw with their own eyes the misery of the women in villain number 4. So Zhao Min now has a deep sense of fear about the outside world. In other words, she is now accustomed to the life in Taoyuan color, because only here in Taoyuan, most of them are women, and only Li Xiaoluo is a man. However, her favorability towards Li Xiaoluo is getting higher and higher, so it is best to stay here before the end of the world. She, a mature and beautiful woman, had always been noble, elegant and confident, but after the end of the world, she became worried about gains and losses, fearing that Li Xiaoluo would drive her away if she is really driven away by Li Xiaoluo. Zhao Min knows that the best outcome for her is to die, otherwise she may be worse off than alive. Sometimes, it is actually a sin for a woman to be too beautiful. After Zhao Min recovered her strength, Li Xiaoluo and Zhao Min both put on their clothes. However, Zhao Min's face was flushed, and he lowered his head and did not dare to look at Li Xiaoluo. She feels very complicated now. Although it was said that she took the initiative to seduce Li Xiaoluo, she thought it was just a temptation, and at most it was a little ambiguous. How could she have imagined that such a situation would happen? Without any preparation, Li Xiaoluo completely ate him up. But when it comes to hating Li Xiaoluo, Zhao Min doesn't do it either. After all, she was originally given to Li Xiaoluo by Du Yaolong, and this time it was Li Xiaoluo who took the initiative to seduce her. Can you blame Li Xiaoluo for not being able to withstand the temptation? It's not that Zhao Min is boasting. She is very confident in her body and appearance. Many times she is tall, mature and plump, and her skin is very fair and tender, as if it is dripping water every time. Before, when she changed into pajamas at night, Zhao Min looked at her plump and voluptuous body in the mirror, and she couldn't help but sigh that her body would be cheaper than any man's. But it is ridiculous to say that before the end of the world, countless men looked at her with possessive eyes, but they could only look at her and were not qualified to get her at all. Du Yaolong got her through some means, but the old guy was powerless and regarded Zhao Min as a mascot. So Zhao Min never thought that her perfect body would be an advantage to Li Xiaoluo. In the end, from the study room to the living room, Li Xiaoluo said to Zhao Min, "Can you inform Lin Mengxin and ask her to come here to see me?" Zhao Min was stunned, and she quickly whispered, "Don't blame Mengxin, okay? Mengxin gave me the advice. The main thing is that I want to live. I know that if I want to survive in this apocalypse, I just have to. It's my own decision to follow you." Li Xiaoluo smiled and said, "Who said I would get into trouble with Lin Mengxin because of this matter, then? Why are you looking for Mengxin?" Li Xiaoluo joked, "Of course I have to reward her. Without her, I still wouldn't be able to taste you. The feeling just now was really satisfying to me, Xiao Min didn't expect Li Xiaoluo to speak so frankly, and an embarrassed look suddenly appeared on his face. However, Xiao Min was still a little happy in her heart. She could feel that her mature and perfect body had really made Li Xiaoluo very satisfied with her body just now. If she hadn't raised the white flag of surrender, she might not even be able to get out of bed now. But even if Li Xiaoluo is satisfied, there is no need to specially call Lin Mengxin over to thank her, right? How embarrassing it would be for both her and Lin Mengxin. Seeing Xiao Min's look, Li Xiaoluo smiled and stopped joking with her. I called Lin Mengxin here not because of your business, but because I want to take her to another of my strongholds and need her to train the female soldiers there. So, that's it. When Xiao Min heard that it was a work matter, he naturally did not dare to delay and quickly contacted Lin Mengxin. Before Lin Mengxin came over, Li Xiaoluo patted the seat next to him and asked Xiao Min to sit next to him. Xiao Min didn't resist. Anyway, she had done more intimate things than this, and she no longer had any resistance to Li Xiaoluo in her heart. Lin Mengxin may want to go there for a while. Do you want to go there with her? There was a hint of surprise on Xiao Min's face. Can I follow you there too? But I don't know anything. In fact, Xiao Min also had this idea in her heart, but she did not dare to mention it to Li Xiaoluo. The reason why Xiao Min wanted to go over there was naturally because of Lin Mengxin. Needless to say, her relationship with Lin Mengxin was so natural that she wanted to follow wherever Lin Mengxin went. In addition, Xiao Minju suddenly had a relationship with Li Xiaoluo, and she was like a mistress later. She didn't know how to face Shen Miaomiao. Although a slap in the face can't make a difference, Li Xiaoluo still has the responsibility, and since Li Xiaoluo keeps so many beauties in Villa Number 1, Shen Miaomiao may have been mentally prepared for it. Especially now and after the apocalypse, it is normal for a capable man to spend more time, but Xiao Min didn't expect that she was the first mistress. After all, women like Qin Yumi followed Li Xiaoluo before her, so Xiao Min didn't know what Shen Miaomiao and the others would think of her after knowing what happened today. It would indeed be a very good choice to live with Lin Mengxin in another stronghold for a period of time. You are my woman now, so of course I don't need you to do any dirty work anymore. Just go over there and manage it, and there will be someone to take care of you. Li Xiaoluo actually asked Xiao Min to go over there, except that they needed manpower there, and there were a lot of manpower at Longting Villa. Another reason is to find a companion for Josiah Tong. Otherwise, if she was not there, Josiah Tong would stay alone in the house every day, and she would indeed feel a little lonely, with no one to talk to. Lin Mengxin used to train soldiers, not to be Josiah Tong's companion. Lin Mengxin was not qualified to live in Lord's Mansion number 36. Only by letting Xiao Min pass can we truly find a companion for Josiah Tong, the kind who can sleep together. Chapter 162. Join the gang and drink. When Xiao Min and Lin Mengxin instantly arrived at Lord's Mansion number 36 through the portal, the two women were a little dumbfounded. They felt that their worldview was once again impacted. Although Li Xiaoluo originally acted very mysterious and powerful, at least he was still within the normal understandable range. But this time, Li Xiaoluo took them to an unfamiliar room in an instant, which was completely beyond common sense. Xiao Min and Lin Mengxin looked at Li Xiaoluo with surprise in their eyes. Don't be too surprised. There will be many superpowers in this world in the future. Their superpowers will be all kinds of things. Just treat this method of teleportation as a superpower. Seeing Xiao Min and Lin Mengxin open their mouths in surprise, Li Xiaoluo gave them a little explanation. Lord, will the superpowers in those novels really appear? Then can we all awaken our superpowers? Hearing Li Xiaoluo's words, Lin Mengxin's eyes lit up. She was originally a warrior, so she naturally wanted to become stronger, and Xiao Min also looked at Li Xiaoluo expectantly. She originally felt that she was quite useless after the apocalypse, but if she can awaken a useful power, then she can really help Li Xiaoluo in the future, and she will no longer feel that she is useless. This depends on whether you have talent. Only those with talent can awaken their powers. And people with high talents and high potential will awaken their powers earlier, and then their powers will be stronger. Although Li Xiaoluo knows that Xiao Min and Lin Mengxin have no supernatural talents at all, there is no need to hit them too hard and let them slowly realize the reality on their own in the future. Xiao Min was a little curious and said, I often pay attention to the news on the internet, but no matter what channel, I haven't heard of anyone awakening superpowers. Li Xiaoluo smiled proudly. This is what I just said about everyone's talent and potential. I should be the first person in the world to awaken supernatural powers. Others, like you, Don't even know that there is such a thing what's going on, let alone awakening. It may take several months for them to awaken. In fact, Xialuo has a powerful talent, but he was a loser in his previous life, but in this life, he has the capital to pretend to be X. So, that's it. Xiaomin and Lin Mengxin both nodded. Both of them were thinking, no wonder Xialuo is so powerful. What Lin Mengxin was thinking about was the last time she fought with Xialuo. Xialuo's power was not like what ordinary people could possess. Now she finally knows the reason. It turns out that the Lord has awakened his superpower, and Xiaomin had just had a fight with Xialuo. She said how Xialuo was as brave as a wild beast. It turns out that he is no longer an ordinary person. Taking Xiaomin and Lin Mengxin to the living room, Josiah Tong was exercising. Seeing Xialuo come back so soon, her face showed great joy, but when she discovered that there were two beautiful women behind Xialuo, Josiah Tong felt a little complicated and at a loss. When Xiaomin and Lin Mengxin saw the pretty Josiah Tong, they knew in their hearts that Josiah Tong was probably also very close to Xialuo. Lin Mengxin didn't feel too much. Anyway, her relationship with the Lord was not between a man and a woman, but Xiaomin felt a little nervous and embarrassed, because she was a latecomer to Longting Villa, and she was also a latecomer here. If the beautiful woman in front of her said something unpleasant, she wouldn't know what to do. Fortunately, Josiah Tong is also very clear about her status, and she is not surprised at all that Xialuo has another woman. She even thought that Xiaomin was Xialuo's wife. After all, her temperament was so noble and elegant, so Josiah Tong is actually more nervous than Xiaomin. Xialuo didn't think too much. If she was his woman, Xialuo would naturally give them a good life, but if they can't understand the current situation clearly and still want to be the same as before the doomsday, then Xialuo will not tolerate them. However, both Josiah Tong and Xiaomin were able to clearly explain their current positions. After Xialuo introduced them, the two women suddenly became very close to each other, and they got along harmoniously as if they were biological sisters. Then Xialuo briefly explained the situation here to Xiaomin and Lin Mengxin. In comparison, this place was definitely much more dangerous than the one at Longting Villa. After all, at Longting Villa, after Xialuo occupied all 10 villas nearby, it was basically difficult for any survivors to come and cause trouble. Moreover, the view from Longting Villa is wide. Even if a survivor breaks into Xialuo's territory, it will be difficult to escape the female soldiers on duty, but it's different here. Not to mention Xialuo, there are still many survivors in this building. If they are hungry, they may make dangerous moves. There may even be many thug teams in the entire community. Therefore, the chance of encountering the danger of invasion here is definitely greater than that in the Longting Villa area. Fortunately, Xialuo has completely controlled the floors above the 6th floor, and has also installed doors in the stairwells leading upstairs, which greatly increases the safety of Xialuo's people. After listening to Xialuo's introduction, Lin Mengxin's place was actually quite safe, but as the Lord said, the most important thing here is that the female soldiers have not received any training at all. And they are not as courageous as the female soldiers in the Longting Villa area and dare to kill people. As long as the female soldiers are well trained, they will have a geographical advantage. Unless they encounter a regular army, Lin Mengxin can guarantee that no survivor team will be able to attack their upstairs. So Lin Mengxin didn't waste a moment and immediately wanted to go downstairs and take up her post. The main thing is to continue to stay in this room, and Lin Mengxin always feels awkward here because of the topics Josiah Tong and Xiaomin are talking about. Lin Mengxin wanted to actively engage in work, so Xialuo naturally would not stop her. Xialuo brought her here just to work. Josiah Tong took the initiative to take Lin Mengxin downstairs to take office, and then Xiaomin followed him down to take a look. After all, she would follow Josiah Tong downstairs to take charge of things in the evening. Josiah Tong and Xiaomin came back, and Lin Mengxin was naturally living downstairs in the evening. Xialuo brought out a lot of delicious food and even a bottle of valuable red wine, saying that he welcomed Xiaomin as a member of the family. It can be regarded as a celebration meal for joining the family. Xiaomin's face was a little shy, but looking at a table full of tempting food and wine, she was still very happy. Her efforts and sweat in the afternoon were not in vain. Come on, I'll bring you a drink too to welcome Sister Minimum. If the boss isn't at home from now on, I won't be too bored by myself. Thank you, Sister Tongtong. Zhao Min held the wine glass and touched it with Josiah Tong and Xialuo, but Xialuo had already drank a lot of wine with them just now. So at this time, Zhao Min's face was stained with a bright red, and there was a hint of hazy charm in his beautiful eyes, which looked very moving. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, It means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 163: A Hearty Breakfast. The feast continued. When Xialuo and Josiah Tong both drank a few more glasses of wine, the atmosphere in the room also became ambiguous. If you are not drunk, everyone will get drunk. He looked at the two beauties sitting on his left and right. Xiaomin is enchanting and charming, with a mature and dreamy figure, and that curved figure, if it were before the end of the world, it would definitely attract the attention of men. And Josiah Tong has a delicate appearance, tall figure, fair skin, especially those round and beautiful legs, which are very eye-catching, and after following Xialuo for so long, she now has a touch of mature temperament, and she is a very beautiful young woman for Xialuo. Of course he still prefers mature and beautiful young women at his age. Maybe when he becomes an uncle, he will prefer young and beautiful girls like his sister-in-law. Of course, Xialuo said he liked it more. In fact, he also likes young and beautiful girls as long as they meet his aesthetic standards and have fair skin, good looks and long legs. Even speaking of it, Josiah Tong and Shen Miao were trained step by step by Xialuo from young and beautiful girls to the beautiful young women. They are now accompanied by two stunning beauties, each with their own merits. Xialuo enjoyed this meal to the fullest, and the food and wine seemed even more delicious. But these are just appetizers to Xialuo, and there is definitely no way to compare them with the main meal that follows. After Xiaomin and the others drank a few glasses of wine, they became more open-minded. Xiaomin took the initiative to refill the glasses for the three of them. "Husband, I also want to toast you and sister Tongtong." Xiao Min's cheeks, which were already rosy from drinking, looked even more beautiful at this time. Josiah Tong looked at the wine glass held by sister Xiaomin and was speechless. The boss originally wanted to get them drunk, but he didn't expect sister Xiaomin to take the initiative to deliver food. Maybe she was a little confused because she drank a lot just now. "Husband, life is so good now, I love you." Drunk. Xiaomin looked at Xialuo, and then suddenly said affectionately, "It's true, Xiaomin is already drunk, otherwise, she had never done such a bold thing before." You must know that Xiaomin was very strictly controlled before. He couldn't do anything out of the ordinary, just like a canary kept in a cage. Although she had no worries about food and clothing, she never felt happy, only depressed, especially after the apocalypse. She saw the darkness of human nature and experienced betrayal. She originally thought her end would be very tragic, but she didn't expect that after coming to Xialuo, she felt as if her heart was alive again, and she was happier than before the end. "Oh, I can't do it anymore. I'm already drunk. I'm going back to my room to rest." "Boss, you and Sister Min continue, just..." When Xiaomin was drinking like crazy, Josiah Tong's face turned red with embarrassment, and then quickly found an excuse to flee the scene. Josiah Tong also drank a lot tonight, and she seemed to be swaying when she walked. However, Josiah Tong's departure made Xiaomin sober up, and then she realized that she seemed really crazy just now. It seems like he said a lot of very bold things, but when Josiah Tong returned to the room, Xiaomin breathed a sigh of relief and didn't feel too embarrassed to admit 10,258 words here. "It's ridiculous, I deleted it all. A night without words. Actually speaking, a lot of things happened at night anyway. Xialuo was so happy last night. I finally realized what it was like for a king to never come to court early in the morning at this time. The sun was already high outside, and it was obviously getting late." Xialuo rubbed his sore waist. He really struggled for his life last night. His strength and body actually had some sequelae. Why? Sure enough, if women take it seriously, men will still suffer no matter how strong a man is. His body structure is different after all. When Xialuo put on clothes and came to the living room, Josiah Tong and Xiaomin, who were joking on the sofa, suddenly showed a hint of shyness on their faces and stopped joking when they saw Xialuo coming out. Xialuo touched his cheek. "He wasn't that scary, was he? This woman is truly a strange creature." Xialuo didn't pay attention. After washing up, it was breakfast time again. In fact, it's already past 10 o'clock now, and we can have lunch any later. However, Xialuo's time is free and he wants to live his life again. He just wants to enjoy life carefully and do everything as he pleases. Because there was one more person, the breakfast prepared by Josiah Tong was even richer: beef noodles, seafood porridge, wontons, milk, fried eggs, etc. It can be said that there are all kinds of flavors you want to eat, but really speaking, these breakfasts were really made by Josiah Tong himself, and they only consisted of fried poached eggs. Now Josiah Tong dare not say anything about cooking other meals, but she is definitely a professional at frying poached eggs. As long as Li Xiaoluo was at home, she would fry some poached eggs for Li Xiaoluo herself, and it's also in the shape of a heart. After breakfast, Josiah Tong and the others wanted to go downstairs to see the work of the logistics department. Although Lin Mengxin was downstairs, Lin Mengxin was mainly in charge of the female soldier in the security team, and she didn't have much energy to watch the logistics department. Before Josiah Tong could find a right-hand man she could trust, she had to do more supervision. In fact, this is something Josiah Tong is very willing to do. Otherwise, if she stays at home every day, unable to go anywhere, and has nothing to do, she is afraid that she will die soon. Even though she now has Zhao Min, an additional sister who can talk, she still hopes to have something to do. Zhao Min, too, wanted to have something to do in these last days. Apart from housework at home, their best job is to manage the logistics department. Li Xiaoluo also followed Josiah Tong and Zhao Min downstairs. Of course, Li Xiaoluo went down there not to do anything, nor was Li Xiaoluo worried about the danger they would encounter if they went downstairs. After all, in addition to being equipped with weapons, Josiah Tong and the others could also let Lin Mengxin protect them. Li Xiaoluo went down because he wanted to go out for a walk again. He now has hot weapons and superpowers in hand. At this stage, it can be said that no one can hurt him. Chapter 164 Tan Jingjing's Methods. Just when Li Xiaoluo took Josiah Tong and Zhao Min downstairs, a lot of things were happening downstairs at Liu Dazhuang's home on the 4th floor. Tan Jingjing said with admiration in her eyes while eating hot instant noodles, "Brother Dazhuang, you are really amazing. I didn't expect that you could get so much food back from outside yesterday." "Hey, it's okay. This is the food I took my people to search for from a restaurant. But it's a pity that a lot of it has been taken away, otherwise we would definitely get more food. And when we went to that hotel, there happened to be a group of survivors going there to look for supplies. They originally threatened us to leave, but I didn't tolerate them. I just took people to do their thing. Those people were killed by us after knocking down the next few. They gave up, and then they all left in despair, and took the initiative to give us all the supplies in the hotel." Liu Dazhuang was elated when he saw Tan Jingjing's admiring eyes, and his vanity was extremely satisfied, so it was a little bragging. After all, Liu Dazhuang was originally tall, fat, and very strong, so he was very fierce in fights, and after training with Li Xiaoluo for a day, he now has no lack of courage. Some ordinary survivors outside are really no match for them, so Liu Dazhuang does have bragging rights. "Ah, Brother Dazhuang, you weren't injured yesterday, were you?" Liu Dazhuang smiled stupidly. "It's just a little skin injury. I'll be fine after a night's rest." In fact, when Liu Dazhuang was grabbing food yesterday, someone from the other party made a cut with a knife. He bled a lot, and there were a lot of blood stains on his clothes. This is why he didn't go to Tan Jingjing immediately after he came back yesterday. It wasn't until today that the wound stopped bleeding, and then he found a pair of clean clothes to change into, and then he asked Tan Jingjing to come over this morning to see what he had learned yesterday. "Brother Dazhuang, are you seriously injured? It's all my fault. You still had a lot of food, but you went out to take risks for me. If anything happens to you, I really can't forgive you myself." Tan Jingjing looked at Liu Dazhuang nervously. Her eyes instantly turned red, as if she was about to cry at any time. Seeing Tan Jingjing crying because of herself, Liu Dazhuang suddenly panicked and was extremely moved. "Jingjing, my injuries are not serious at all. Really, you see, everything is fine with me. Is there something wrong?" As he spoke, Liu Dazhuang patted his chest. Tan Jingjing looked better when she saw Liu Dazhuang like this. Then Liu Dazhuang continued, "Besides, it's not entirely because of you that I went out to look for food. Although I still have some food, I can't just sit back and eat. So for myself, I must also go out to look for food. Get up, otherwise the food around here will be robbed by others." "Brother Dazhuang, you don't need to say anything. I understand your thoughts. I'm really touched. I never thought that a man could pay so much for me. If I didn't still hate men in my heart, I would really like to be with you forever, but now I still feel." Liu Dazhuang hurriedly said, "Jingjing, don't feel any pressure. In fact, I secretly liked you before the end of the world. Every time I can run into you once when I go home, I will be happy. So you still have a knot in your heart now. It doesn't matter. I will always be kind to you and wait for the day when you can untie the knot." "Brother Dazhuang, you are so kind." Tan Jingjing looked at Liu Dazhuang with great emotion, and Liu Dazhuang smiled stupidly. Then he hesitated for a moment, and finally couldn't help but asked, Jingjing, do you still want to go to Boss Li Xiaoluo upstairs? 10. Jingjing said seriously, Brother De Zhuang, actually I went upstairs yesterday and ate a bowl of delicious beef noodles from Li Xiaoluo's place. That bowl of beef noodles was the best I have ever eaten after the apocalypse food. I have to say that Li Xiaoluo really has a lot of food, enough to feed a lot of people. However, the more Tan Jingjing continued talking, the more ugly Liu Dazhuang's face became at this time. Tan Jingjing continued, but no matter how much food Li Xiaoluo has, I will never think about following him again in the future. Why? Liu Dazhuang did not expect such a sudden turn of events. Tan Jingjing hesitated for a moment, and then said angrily, originally, I thought Li Xiaoluo did not regard us women as his trophies and gave us our freedom. I thought he was a man who would not bully women. But when I went up for the assessment yesterday, Li Xiaoluo interviewed me personally and hinted that if I wanted to pass the assessment, I would have to become his SX slave and obey all his orders unconditionally, even if I die now. I naturally don't want to be forced and enslaved by men anymore, so I directly rejected Li Xiaoluo, and then I was eliminated in the first interview yesterday. Actually, even if Li Xiaoluo lets me pass the first level interview, I will not take the second level assessment again, Liu Dazhuang said with anger in his eyes. Jingjing, boss, did Li Xiaoluo really do that to you? 10. Jingjing said sadly, Brother De Zhuang, don't you still believe what I said? Do I need to lie to you? In fact, since Li Xiaoluo announced that he only recruits women, and they are still young women, I should have guessed that he was recruiting the purpose of women. After hearing Tan Jingjing's words, Liu Dazhuang immediately believed Tan Jingjing's words completely. It seems that this is indeed the case, otherwise why would Li Xiaoluo suddenly want to recruit some young women? Tan Jingjing shook her head at this time and said, Brother De Zhuang, forget it, I don't want to mention what happened yesterday. Let's not provoke Li Xiaoluo, okay? We are not his opponents at all. If we make him unhappy, he can kill us at any time. Liu Dazhuang nodded. He really didn't dare to trouble Li Xiaoluo now, but Liu Dazhuang still said seriously, Jingjing, don't worry, if there is a chance in the future, I will definitely take revenge on your behalf. 10. Jingjing smiled, Brother De Zhuang, you are actually much better than Li Xiaoluo. He just has a gun. By the way, Brother De Zhuang, is there a lot of food in the community outside now? Liu Dazhuang nodded first, then shook his head. There used to be quite a lot of food in restaurants and supermarkets in our community. But people from other buildings left earlier than us, so now most of the food has been taken over by them. There is a supermarket over there in Building C. Now that supermarket is occupied by a group of people. There are so many of them that no one dares to provoke them. 10. Jingjing said, Brother De Zhuang, aren't there a lot of people following you? And you are so powerful, aren't you a match for that group of people? It would be great if we could take down the food and supplies from that supermarket. Liu Dazhuang shook his head. There were only about 10 people who were willing to follow me out yesterday, but there were at least 20 young and strong men in that group. We are no match. 10. Jingjing's eyes lit up, and she quickly persuaded, Brother De Zhuang, our manpower is not much less than that of the group that occupied the supermarket. How about we go to the 5th and 3rd floors to ask if anyone else is willing to follow? Are you fooling around? Chapter 165 Like-minded people. Liu Dazhuang listened to Tan Jingjing's words, and then took Tan Jingjing to the 5th floor. The people living on the 5th floor were basically the people from Chen Jianjin's team yesterday, as well as their families. Liu Dazhuang originally felt that it was not a good idea to go upstairs to win over Chen Jianjin. After all, he and Chen Jianjin were teammates who had fought side by side before, and they had a pretty good relationship when he followed Li Xiaoluo before. Chen Jianjin also took good care of him, but Tan Jingjing didn't think so. She told Liu Dazhuang that he and Chen Jianjin were only temporary workers hired by Li Xiaoluo before. Now that the relationship with Li Xiaoluo has been terminated, Liu Dazhuang not only no longer has a superior subordinate relationship with Li Xiaoluo, but also no longer has a teammate relationship with Chen Jianjin, and those people who live with Chen Jianjin on the 5th floor are no longer Chen Jianjin's team members. Now they are just hugging each other for warmth, so everyone has their own freedom. Liu Dazhuang took them out to find food in order to let them survive, so there is no need to have any psychological burden at all. On the contrary, Liu Dazhuang was willing to take them out to get a lot of food. They should all thank Liu Dazhuang. Liu Dazhuang is their savior. Tan Jingjing also said that a big brother would definitely not be like Li Xiaoluo. After having a lot of food, he would not help the suffering survivors at all. and even thought of using food to threaten women to become his slaves. So what Liu Dazhuang did was a great thing, leading everyone to live together. Under Tan Jingjing's persuasion, Liu Dazhuang no longer hesitated in his heart, and he was very ambitious, and he felt that he was definitely capable of doing great things. In addition, Tan Jingjing was willing to help him and personally persuaded the survivors on the 3rd and 5th floors to join his team. Liu Dazhuang was extremely moved. He vowed to treat Tan Jingjing well in the future, because Liu Dazhuang knew that it was okay to let him fight, but to let him fool. No, he was trying to persuade everyone to follow him and work for him. He really didn't have that eloquence. The reason why the people on the 4th floor were willing to follow him before was actually because they let him take the lead and even wanted to use him to rush ahead. But if, as Tan Jingjing said, he could set up a formal team and let everyone obey his management, that would be great. Although Liu Dazhuang was just an ordinary loser before his death, what man has no ambition? Diosi don't want to be a master? Of course I do, but I didn't dare to think about it before. Boom, boom, boom. After Tan Jingjing and Liu Dazhuang went up to the 5th floor, they first knocked on the door of room 501. Who? A man's voice came from inside the room, and then footsteps came to the door. But the person in the room did not open the door, and was probably observing the situation outside the door through the peephole. Tan Jingjing and Liu Dazhuang did not hide, but stood generously where the peephole could see. Hello, brother, we are Liu Dazhuang and Tan Jingjing on the 4th floor. We are just 2 people. We don't have any hostility. We just have something to talk to you about. Can you please open the door? With a creak, the door was opened. In the room, a man in his 30s looked at Liu Dazhuang politely and said, Captain Liu, are you coming to see me for anything? After all, Liu Dazhuang was the captain before. If Li Xiaoluo recruits people to do things in the future, maybe Liu Dazhuang and the others will be reused. So when the man in the room saw that the person coming was Liu Dazhuang, he quickly opened the door and behaved very politely. Anyway, there are only 2 of them, Liu Dazhuang, 1 man and 1 woman. The man is not afraid that Liu Dazhuang will be unfavorable to him. Faced with a man's inquiry, it was naturally Tan Jingjing who responded. Tan Jingjing looked at the man with a smile and said, Brother, what should I call you? My name is Xiang Lijin. Brother Xiang, let me tell you the truth. Although you were given some food yesterday, you certainly won't be able to eat it for long. Right, we came to you this time to ask you to join our team, and then we can unite and go outside to find more food. Captain Liu Dazhuang said that you were very brave under Captain Chen Jianjin, so you were the first one he came to see. As long as you are willing to join our team, you will immediately become a key member of our regiment. Xiang Lijin subconsciously asked, has Captain Chen Jianjin joined your team? Tan Jingjing immediately smiled and said, Brother Xiang, Captain Chen Jianjin received more food yesterday, so he didn't want to go out and take risks. We all respect his decision, but our people on the 4th floor are willing to follow our Captain Liu out to find a way to survive. Our captain also hopes that more people can join us. This is actually a win-win situation for everyone. After all, more people are more powerful. If there are more people, Captain Liu and the others will have less risk when they go out. And those of you who don't have much food can also get more food. Of course, we are not forcing you to agree. All the initiative lies in your own hands. If you are not willing to go out and take risks, we will not force you. After all, our Captain Liu has a lot more food than you, and we will definitely be better than you. Last longer, Xiang Lijin thought for a while, and it seemed that this was indeed the case. If they dare not go outside for fear of death, Liu Dazhuang and Chen Jianjin will definitely live longer than them. Instead of having to go out to look for food alone when the time comes that I won't be able to survive anymore, it's better to go with everyone now anyway. He's alone and has nothing to worry about. As long as he can survive. Okay, I'll join you. Tan Jingjing and the others were very lucky. The first family they found was Xiang Lijin. Without any worries, he readily agreed to follow Liu Dazhuang and the others under Tan Jingjing's offer. Then Tan Jingjing and the others went to the second house. Unexpectedly, they were still acquaintances. Liu Xiaoluo and her boyfriend lived there. Faced with the recruitment of Liu Dazhuang and Tan Jingjing, Liu Xiaoluo's boyfriend Wang Wei originally wanted to refuse, but he still wanted to follow the former Captain Chen Jianjin. But because Liu Xiaoluo failed Li Xiaoluo's assessment, she not only resented Li Xiaoluo, but also held a grudge against Chen Jianjin. In her opinion, if Chen Jianjin was willing to send a message to say even a nice word for her in front of Li Xiaoluo, There was no way she would be eliminated in the first round originally, although Liu Xiaolu had some resentment towards Li Xiaoluo and Chen Jianjun, under the current circumstances. She could only bury this feeling deeply in her heart because she neither dared to provoke Li Xiaoluo nor Chen Jianjun. Nor could she leave here. The only thing she could do was to close the door and say a lot of bad things about Li Charlotte and Chen Jianjun in front of her boyfriend Wang Wei. And now that Liu Dazhuang and Tan Jingjing came to them to find another way out, wouldn't it be a good time for her to get away from Chen Jianjun? There might be a chance to come back for revenge in the future. So Liu Xiaolu was naturally willing to follow Liu Dazhuang and Tan Jingjing. Liu Xiaolu's boyfriend was used to obeying Liu Xiaolu's words before the end, so he finally compromised and chose to join Liu Dazhuang's team. The continuous recruitment success made both Liu Dazhuang and Tan Jingjing very excited. There are so many like-minded people, it seems that great things can be expected in the future. Chapter 166 Survivors at the Gas Station. Li Xiaoluo drove the snowmobile slowly on the snow. When Li Xiaoluo came out this time, he naturally continued to buy things for 0 yuan, although he has a lot of supplies now, just like those rich people before the end of the world, who would think that he has too much money, especially at this time. It may be difficult to have things from before the end of the world, so it would be great if Li Xiaoluo could collect more, not to mention that Li Xiaoluo's system space is not full yet. Even if his system is full, he can still find many places to use as temporary warehouses to store supplies. For example, at Longding Villa, each villa is used as a temporary warehouse and can store at least several thousand tons of materials as long as these supplies can be kept outside without being kept fresh. It will be fine in here. Li Xiaoluo has emptied the entire upper 30 floors of Building A. Even if the flood will reach the 10th floor in the future, a lot of supplies can be stored on the floors above the 10th floor. So even if Li Xiaoluo's system space is filled with supplies, as long as he continues to go out to look for supplies, there will always be somewhere to store them. Even if Li Xiaoluo thinks about it, there is a 50 or 60-story building more than 200 meters away from Li Xiaoluo. The area of each floor of that building is larger, and it is more suitable for use as a temporary warehouse to store supplies. Even if a flood comes, there is no need to worry about being submerged. Of course, Li Xiaoluo's method is actually only temporary. As long as the second stage of the flood has passed, there will be no need to store supplies in high-rise buildings. There will be a lot of warehouses on the ground for Li Xiaoluo to use. However, once the second stage of floods has passed, Li Xiaoluo will definitely expand the territory of his territory, not to mention directly occupying the entire city, but within a few kilometers of each lord's mansion. Li Xiaoluo must ensure that it is the territory of his Taoyuan territory, and no other survivors can exist. So regarding the building near him, Li Xiaoluo felt that if he had time, he could indeed go and take a look. After all, it's your own territory from now on. Driving all the way, Li Xiaoluo was not as cautious as last time when he went out, because Li Xiaoluo now has a gun in his hand and the ability to teleport. There is basically no danger when he comes out. Otherwise, Li Xiaoluo would not go out for a walk without any trouble. He has already stocked up so many supplies. Even if some supplies are less in quantity, he will definitely choose to stay in the Lord's mansion now that he is out. He is the only one who bullies and hurts others, but no one can hurt him. And when you go shopping for 0 yuan, you might be able to find some women with supernatural talents among the survivors. That's why Li Xiaoluo decided to go out for a walk more often in the future. Staying at home is pretty boring anyway. Li Xiaoluo's main destination today was a liquor wholesale market a few kilometers away from his community. Li Xiaoluo is not short of food now, and food will not be precious to those with superpowers in the future. So Li Xiaoluo must collect more things that will be valuable in the future. But before going to the liquor wholesale market, Li Xiaoluo would first go to the gas station near his home. Now, because of the snowstorm, cars and so on are useless, so gasoline and diesel are of little use for the time being, but it will still be useful in the future. So Li Xiaoluo also plans to hoard as much as possible. First, when he arrived at the gas station, Li Xiaoluo found footprints in the snow at the entrance of the gas station. It seemed that there must be survivors at this gas station, but it's not surprising. After all, there is basically a convenience store inside every gas station, so the people trapped here should not die of hunger. And even if people trapped in gas stations don't have warm clothes, they can still use fuel to keep warm. Knowing that there were survivors in the gas station, Li Xiaoluo did not rely on them, so he sent a drone into the gas station to investigate. Li Xiaoluo quickly investigated the situation inside the gas station. There are now a total of 8 survivors in the convenience store of the gas station, including 5 men and 3 women. Several of them should be gas station employees. And a few should be customers who come to the gas station to refuel. The people in this gas station seem to be getting along relatively harmoniously for the time being. There has been no killing or enslaving of women, but Xialuo didn't know that wherever there are people, there are rivers and lakes, especially in this kind of doomsday. Although it seems harmonious here, conflicts have already existed. The biggest conflict among the survivors at the gas station is actually the conflict between the gas station employees and the few customers. To put it more clearly, it is actually a food problem after all. There is only one convenience store in this gas station, and the food in the convenience store is not too much. After all, it is a small convenience store and not a big supermarket. Moreover, the convenience stores at the pre-apocalyptic gas stations are chain stores, and the food and supplies are delivered to your door every day, so the store will not hoard too much inventory. It was okay at the beginning of the ice apocalypse. Everyone got along quite harmoniously, thinking that the natural disaster would end soon anyway, and at that time, everyone felt that money could still be used, so a few customers stuck at the gas station could buy food from the convenience store as long as they spent money. But after knowing that the country's rescue might be gone, the food and supplies in this convenience store became the hope of survival for all the survivors in the entire gas station. But for the food and supplies in convenience stores, the more you use, the less. Gradually, several employees at the gas station united together and stopped selling anything from the convenience store to those customers. After all, people are selfish. In this case, they must first consider their own interests and think that they can survive. However, although the actions of the gas station people seem reasonable, after all, they are gas station staff, and they have the right to choose to close the gas station. But if you don't have anything to eat, you will starve to death. How can those few customers care about you if they don't give them food? Several customers will join forces and plan to fight the gas station people, and if the gas station staff have a chance to survive, they naturally don't want to risk their lives. In the end, the two parties reached an agreement. The people at the gas station gave each of those customers a piece of bread and a bottle of water for free every day without asking for their money. But if you want more food, it's definitely not available. No matter how much money you give, it will be used. And those few customers trapped in the gas station don't really want to fight to the death, and they were indeed the ones who ignored it. So even if they couldn't eat enough food every day, they had no choice but to accept the agreement. Therefore, inside the gas station was a harmonious scene that Xialuo saw through the drone. After confirming that there was no danger inside the gas station, Xialuo drove his snowmobile directly to the door of the gas station convenience store. The arrival of Xialuo naturally immediately attracted the attention of the survivors inside the gas station. Station master, come over quickly and take a look. There is someone outside. There is someone outside. Are the rescuers coming? We are saved. Chapter 167. Are you sure you're not doing this for fun? Inside the gas station, many men and women were looking at the snowmobiles outside the convenience store. This was the first time they had seen a vehicle at the gas station since the heavy snowfall, so most people were naturally very excited. The first thing they thought of was naturally whether the person coming was a rescuer. However, when a middle-aged man inside the gas station saw the snowmobile outside and Xialuo getting off the snowmobile, his face showed a hint of ugliness. The middle-aged man named Dais Hongho was the station master of this gas station before its doomsday. Dais Hongho scolded several happy subordinates. What are you yelling about? Look clearly, this car has no official logo at all, so how can it be a rescue worker? And the authorities won't just send one person out to rescue them. How many people can one person save? So, this person must be an ordinary survivor who went out to look for food. Why are you so excited? After hearing Dais Hongho's words, the people in the convenience store suddenly woke up looking at a car and a person outside the door. They really didn't look like rescuers. Hey, after waiting for so long, I finally saw a living person, but my happiness was in vain. At this time, Dais Hongho said again, what are you all doing? Get your weapons and drive away the people outside. Do you want to let one more person in? Then one more person will consume our food. This is also the reason why Dais Hongho looked ugly just now. This gas station is now a small closed society. Although the people living here may have some conflicts, at least they are still harmonious. The most important thing is that in this gas station, he basically has the final say on how much food everyone eats and what work everyone needs to do. He enjoys absolute power. Although everyone said they were living in harmony, in fact he had slowly started to treat the three customers as servants. After all, this gas station is his home field. There are only 8 survivors in the gas station, and there are 5 staff members at their gas station. It can be said that they have an absolute advantage. This was all fine, but if a new survivor comes now, It will be hard to say one more person will not only waste more food, but may also pose a threat to his rule. Therefore, unless they are really national rescuers, Dai Honghe will never take in any more survivors. As for Dai Honghe's subordinates, firstly they were used to obeying Dai Honghe's orders, and secondly they felt that what Dai Honghe said made sense. One more person means one more mouth to consume food, and they will definitely not be very willing to do so. So several people quickly picked up their weapons, including steel pipes, wrenches, and brooms, and then rushed to the door of the convenience store. At this time, Li Xiaoluo just opened the door of the convenience store. After entering the convenience store, Li Xiaoluo subconsciously looked at the three women in the convenience store with exploratory eyes after discovering the unexpected surprise of Xiao Panbin. Now whenever Li Xiaoluo sees female survivors outside, he will look at their personal information first. Maybe there will be unexpected surprises. Stop, we are no longer open for business here, and outsiders are not welcome. Please leave here immediately. Dai Honghe stood behind several men with weapons and looked at Li Xiaoluo in a serious tone. Li Xiaoluo looked at the people surrounding him with various weapons in amusement. These people seemed to be amateurs at first glance, and some even used brooms and lunchboxes as weapons. Are you sure you're not trying to be funny? But in fact, it is fortunate that they are amateurs. If they were really thugs and people rushed to deal with Li Xiaoluo when they saw him, they would probably be corpses by now. Since these people did not take action, Li Xiaoluo was not interested in killing people. He only needed to get what he wanted. Li Xiaoluo looked at several people and said, "You are all employees of this gas station. I need oil, both gasoline and diesel. Can any of you help me get it?" Dai Honghe said angrily, "Boy, you don't understand what I said? Even if you are not here to ask for food, you are not welcome here. We also need oil here, so we will not give oil to outsiders." At this time, the middle-aged woman holding a broom said, "Station master, why don't we give him some gas? His car may be out of gas. If we don't give him gas, his car may not be able to move." "Shut up. You have no place to speak here." Dai Honghe looked at the middle-aged woman and roared angrily. He did not expect that the only woman under his command would turn her elbows outward. Sure enough, she is still a woman. Dai Honghe decided that after this matter was over, this woman must be punished so that everyone would remember it. In fact, it does not matter to Dai Honghe to give Li Xiaoluo some oil. But Dai Honghe didn't want to set this precedent, and he couldn't tolerate anyone under his command who dared to question his decision. Dai Honghe's prestige is still very high. After all, he was the biggest leader of this gas station before the apocalypse, and he will be the voice of the leader after the apocalypse. So after being angrily scolded by him, the middle-aged woman did not dare to say anything more. In fact, they are trapped in this gas station, and there are no other thugs here. There are people to eat and drink, and no one is enslaved, so most people still have some conscience in their hearts, especially knowing that Li Xiaoluo only came to order some oil and did not stay to share the food. So he thought of helping if he could. Li Xiaoluo's face was expressionless, and then he slowly raised his right hand. "Excuse me, do I have the right to speak here?" He has a gun. Seeing what Li Xiaoluo was holding, someone immediately screamed in fright. They are all ordinary people. Even if they encounter someone with a knife, they will feel frightened, let alone face a gun. Dai Honghe saw Li Xiaoluo suddenly pointing a gun at him. Although he was stunned for a moment, he was almost scared to the point of peeing subconsciously. But soon, Dai Honghe reacted. "It's impossible. When he came in just now, he had nothing in his hand. Where did he get the gun? And he is just an ordinary survivor. How could there be a real gun in our country? The gun in his hand must be a toy gun. So, don't be fooled. There are so many of us, there is no need to be afraid of him." Dai Honghe not only emboldened himself, but also emboldened several of his subordinates. Of course, the main reason why he doesn't believe in the gun in Li Xiaoluo's hand is that he doesn't want to lose his current power or change the current status quo. That's why he has the courage. Bet that the gun in Li Xiaoluo's hand must be fake. But Dai Honghe has courage, but others don't. They don't want to make fun of their own lives, so everyone's hands that were holding weapons immediately lowered their hands. Bang! Li Xiaoluo pulled the trigger directly. Since someone is stubborn and doesn't want to believe that the gun in his hand is a real gun, then he naturally has to prove it to him. Dai Honghe let out a scream, and Li Xiaoluo didn't shoot him directly in the head, but just shot him in the thigh. After all, the purpose of Li Xiaoluo coming here has not been achieved yet. Now, can you be honest and obedient? Chapter 168-60, 000 liters of oil. Brother, don't kill me. I'm not a bad person. I didn't mean to hurt you just now. Before Dai Honghu could answer, Li Xiaoluo, when a tall man saw that the gun in Li Xiaoluo's hand was actually a real gun, he was so frightened that he quickly threw the weapon to the ground and raised his hands. When the others saw this, they quickly threw away their weapons. Li Xiaoluo looked at several people coldly and said, "Originally, I wanted to get along with you as an ordinary person. As long as you give me the fuel I need, I won't make things difficult for you, but since you don't want to, then I'm going to show my hand. I won't pretend anymore. I'm here to rob. Who can get the oil for me now?" Everyone in the convenience store looked at Li Xiaoluo, with fear on their faces. No one dared to respond to Li Xiaoluo. After all, if you stand out and fail to do good things, and then get shot on the hole by Li Xiaoluo, it will be terrible. So they are all ready to pretend and let others take the lead. No one can do it? That's okay, I won't make it difficult for you. Just now you and your webmaster wanted to deal with me, and now your webmaster has been shot, then I will treat them equally and give each of you a shot. As for which of you can survive, it all depends on your luck. Seeing Li Xiaoluo raising his gun again, several gas station employees were frightened. No one dares to pretend to be an ostrich anymore. "Boss, don't shoot. I can get you gas. I can get both gasoline and diesel. Brother, I used to be a gas attendant. I can also get gas for you." "Other than your station manager, who is most familiar with this gas station?" "Brother, that must be me. I work the longest. Usually when the station manager asks for leave, I take over the shift at the gas station." Hearing Li Xiaoluo's words, the tall man, who is the first to surrender, immediately excitedly waved his hands and then spoke. After all, Li Xiaoluo said that whoever helps him with oil will not be shot, so he must act quickly. Several other people actually wanted to say that they were actually very familiar with refueling, but they seemed to be less familiar with the whole gas station thing than the tall man. Li Xiaoluo stretched out his hand and pointed at the tall man. "Tell me first, how much fuel does your gas station have?" The tall man quickly said with a smile, "Brother, the total storage capacity of gasoline and diesel at our gas station is 80 cubic meters, which is 80,000 liters, but we sold some before the apocalypse, and we used some after the apocalypse. We still have about 60,000 liters now, so no matter how much your car needs, gasoline or diesel, our gas station will definitely be enough. Even if you come here more often in the future, we can refuel you for free." Li Xiaoluo looked at the tall man and nodded. This made the tall man extremely happy, and he felt that his life was about to be saved. However, Li Xiaoluo's next words made him feel as if he had fallen into an ice cave. "Okay, you do know a lot, so I will give you a task now. I want you to get all the oil out of this gas station." Hearing Li Xiaoluo's words, the tall man was immediately confused. The tall man said with a depressed face, "Brother, you mean to get all the oil out of the gas station?" Li Xiaoluo nodded. "Brother, if you give me time, I can indeed do it. But even if I pump out more than 60,000 liters of oil, we don't have a container to store it. In fact, there are 60,000 liters of oil here, which is 60 cubic meters. For Li Xiaoluo, who has 20,000 cubic meters of space, 60 cubic meters is not even a fraction. Even though Li Xiaoluo now has a large amount of supplies in his space, he still has several thousand cubic meters of free space. It is very simple to save the fuel for this gas station, but like the tall man said, it's easy to get all the oil out, but there's no container to hold it. Even if you use a gas station tanker, it's still far from being able to hold it. Seeing that Li Xiaoluo's face looked ugly, the tall man quickly said cautiously, "Brother, it's really not that I don't want to do it. But I can't get all the oil on the ground, right? If you think about it, the fuel tanks of those large trucks can only hold more than 100 liters. These more than 60,000 liters of oil are enough to fill hundreds of large trucks, so there are not many containers to store this much oil. Unless we move the oil storage tank directly from the gas station, but then you can't take it with you. Brother, if you want to store more spare oil in the car, our gas station has some small oil barrels. After I fill up your car, I can use the small oil barrels to get you a few barrels of spare oil, okay?" The tall man kept explaining. Originally, Li Xiaoluo really had no idea how to get rid of all the oil, unless he first found a batch of containers, but the tall man's words made Li Xiaoluo think of a feasible way. Yes, the oil at this gas station is stored in large tanks. If you just take away the oil storage tanks at the gas station, wouldn't everything be settled? However, Xialuo himself didn't know if this operation was possible, but it's okay to try. So Xialuo immediately asked the tall man to take him to the oil storage tank of their gas station to have a look. Although the tall man didn't know Xialuo's intention, he didn't dare to go against Xialuo's wishes. He immediately took the key and took Xialuo to see the oil storage tank at the gas station anyway. Just take a look. Xialuo can't do anything. Xialuo couldn't just drink all the oil in the oil storage tank into his stomach. Right, there are 2 tanks for storing oil in this gas station, each of which is a large tank of 50 cubic meters. Xialuo asked the tall man to wait outside, and then Xialuo went in and gave it a try. Not long after, Xialuo walked out with a smile on his face, and then returned to the convenience store with the tall man. You can tell from the look on Xialuo's face that he just succeeded. The 60,000 liters of oil at this gas station have been received into the system space by him, including the oil tank, but the people at this gas station didn't know anything about it. They are still worried about whether Xialuo will kill them, and if Xialuo really wanted to take away all their oil, they wouldn't all be cold to death. However, thinking about it, Xialuo couldn't really take away all the oil. After returning to the convenience store with the tall man, Xialuo said to the convenience store owner, "Everyone, I have to leave. Except for you, the station master. You are all quite cooperative, and you didn't even think about making any small moves just now. So when you come out later, I have something for you." "What?" Xialuo said about making small moves was that when he and the tall man went to collect the oil cans just now, the people in the convenience store did not want to sneak attack him or anything. Although Xialuo left just now, he had actually been monitoring these people with a drone, so these people are not thugs. And suddenly hearing that Xialuo was leaving like this, everyone in the convenience store was stunned. They don't understand what Xialuo means. Doesn't he want oil? Don't want this again? Why did you leave so mysteriously? Until Xialuo walked out of the convenience store. And then the snowmobile started outside. Only the people inside the convenience store dared to believe that Xialuo had really left so inexplicably. Suddenly, everyone in the convenience store breathed a long sigh of relief. Only Dai Honghua, the station manager of the gas station, was about to cry but had no tears at this time. Just left like this? Then what were you resisting just now? It's fine now. Everyone at the gas station is fine, but he, the leader, was shot. In such weather and without medical treatment, he would definitely not survive long after being shot. But other people in the convenience store don't have time to care what Dai Honghua thinks. They all ran towards the convenience store door. Everyone is very curious now. Why did Xialuo give them something as a gift when he didn't want the oil? What good thing could it be? Chapter 169. Another fruitful day. Xialuo suddenly appeared and left suddenly and inexplicably. He also said that he would leave something for them. Not only was the tall man leading Xialuo curious, but everyone in the convenience store was also curious. Moreover, Xialuo doesn't look like an easy person to get along with, so why would he leave them suddenly and still give them something? It's so strange. Curiosity is human nature, so everyone hurried to the door. It seems to be a quilt and a cotton coat. Soon, everyone saw the things left by Xialuo, which were some quilts and clothes. This gas station seems to be really short of these things. Although they can use gasoline as fuel for heating, it is always inconvenient. Now they can have some thick quilts and clothes, which is really a timely help for them. Then the tall man let everyone in, quickly ran outside to bring in all the quilts and clothes. But after they counted the numbers, a strange look suddenly appeared on their faces because Xialuo left 7 quilts and 7 sets of thick clothes. But there were 8 people inside the gas station, and obviously one of them couldn't get anything from him. As for who that person is, in fact, there is no need for Charlotte to say it. Everyone in the convenience store knows it. Their webmaster Dai Honghua offended Xialuo and was shot by Xialuo, so he definitely didn't share the things left behind, and Dai Honghua knew it well. Moreover, Xialuo had hurt him so badly that even if it was given to him, he wouldn't take it. They had been heating with fuel anyway, but soon, he and everyone in the convenience store were dumbfounded because all the gas at their gas stations is gone. At this time, Xialuo was driving a snowmobile to his second destination. Today I still have to say here that Xialuo left some warm clothes at the gas station, so it's not like his mother's heart was overflowing. Instead, he took away all the fuel from the gas station. If he didn't leave some quilts and clothes, the people at the gas station might freeze to death at night. If the people at that gas station were like that station manager, they would freeze to death even if Xialuo didn't kill him directly. It was because he didn't want to waste bullets. But obviously not all the people at the gas station are bad people. At least some of them are not bad people, of course. The more important thing is that they are far away from Li Xiaoluo's territory and will not pose any threat to Li Xiaoluo in the future. That's why Li Xiaoluo left some quilts and clothes, assuming that he used these quilts and clothes to exchange for their 60,000 liters of gasoline. Everyone doesn't owe each other anything. Another thing is that for Li Xiaoluo, those quilts and clothes are just a drop in the bucket. Previously, Li Xiaoluo purchased an entire shopping mall's supplies for 0 yuan. But now there are a lot of these supplies in the system space. That's why Li Xiaoluo left some supplies for the people at the convenience store. If Li Xiaoluo himself didn't have much, then he would definitely not care about the life and death of those at the gas station soon. Li Xiaoluo came to his second destination today. This is a relatively large wholesale wine market, with all kinds of liquor, red wine, beer, etc. Basically everything you need. In fact, Li Xiaoluo just drove his snowmobile all the way. There are many shops or small shops on the roadside, and there must be some supplies in them, but Li Xiaoluo basically looked down upon such a small fight. After all, most of the shops now are covered with snow. It takes a lot of time to clean up the snow, but the return rate is not high. Exclamation mark. After all, how many supplies can be found in those small stores? Where can Li Xiaoluo find a wholesale market with huge returns? Sure enough, after arriving at this wine wholesale market, Li Xiaoluo had another fruitful day in the warehouse of the liquor wholesale market. The middle and low-end liquor and red wine that were common in restaurants or convenience stores before the end of the world were almost piled up like a mountain. Moreover, the wide variety of drinks in the wholesale market is also an eye-opener for Li Xiaoluo, who only drank an occasional drink before the end of the world. Of course, this wholesale market is definitely not just for mid to low-end wines. In some large-scale wine wholesale stores with high-end decoration, Li Xiaoluo also found many high-end goods, whether it is pre-apocalyptic high-end liquor, such as Fishan Maote, Wuliangai, Laziao, etc. You can see them all here. There are also high-end red wines, such as Petrus, Lafite, Ramne Conti, etc. Although Li Charlotte didn't do much research on these foreign red wines, he also knew that they were very expensive before the end of the world. Even for some high-end wines, a bottle of wine can be exchanged for a house before the end. But when it comes to these foreign high-end wines, the only one Li Xiaoluo knows and is deeply impressed by is the Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades is a kind of champagne. It should be regarded as an internet celebrity wine before the end of the world. After all, many celebrities like this wine, such as the Prince of the Domestic Entertainment Discipline Inspection Commission. The reason why Li Xiaoluo was deeply impressed by it was because this kind of wine was also quite famous in bars before the end of the world. There was a time when Su Xiuxi wanted to go to a bar, but after going to the bar, she made insinuating remarks that her best friend had been bragging in front of her about the Ace of Spades she had drunk in the bar, and how good the wine was. Li Xiaoluo disappointed Su Xiuxi. At that time, she naturally slapped her face in front of Su Xiuxi and pretended to be fat, but when he found out the price was 8,888, Li Xiaoluo almost turned his thighs purple because it hurt so much. I'm afraid this wine is made of gold. Therefore, even though Ace of Spades is not the most expensive among these famous foreign wines, it is the famous foreign wine that Li Charlotte is most familiar with. And now, Li Xiaoluo has received thousands of bottles just from the Ace of Spades. If you want to drink it in the future, you can drink it until you feel like vomiting. Moreover, the total amount of wine harvested this time cannot be measured in bottles. It is directly several thousand tons this time. Li Xiaoluo's space was completely filled on the way back on the snowmobile. Li Xiaoluo couldn't help but sigh. It seemed that he still needed to prepare more for his temporary warehouse. Otherwise, even if there are several villas over there at Longting Villa, there is still this building over at Lord's Mansion number 36 that can be used as a temporary warehouse. But if we go out every day to collect thousands of tons of materials, these places will definitely not be enough. Li Xiaoluo drove the snowmobile back to the community and was about to go upstairs. Li Xiaoluo habitually flew the drone to check on Liu Dazhuang and Chen Jianjun, but Li Xiaoluo soon noticed something was wrong. There seemed to be no one on the third and fourth floors, and only some people were still on the fifth floor. Where are people? Li Xiaoluo arranged for them to live on the floors below. In fact, he wanted them to block some minor troubles for him, but I didn't expect that most of the people would suddenly run away. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 170 The Sinister Li Xialuo. Li Xialuo took a look through the drone and found that Chen Jianzhen's family was still there. Moreover, many people were gathering at Chen Jianzhen's house at this time, and they seemed to be discussing something. Li Xialuo monitored through the drone and listened for a while, and suddenly he almost knew what was going on. It turned out that Liu Dazhuang was shouting slogans to lead everyone to get more food so that everyone could survive, and then he was recruiting troops downstairs. After Liu Dazhuang recruited enough people, he took the people who were willing to follow him to live in a small building, because as long as you stay in building A, you will always live in the shadow of Li Xialuo. Moreover, there are basically no supplies in building A. In addition, there are unowned houses everywhere now, and there is no need to worry about not having a place to live in other buildings. So Liu Dazhuang and the others directly moved their family away from building A. Li Xialuo actually didn't feel much about the departure of Liu Dazhuang and the others. They were just insignificant people, but Li Xialuo originally thought that they would stay downstairs and guard the door for him. At most, I have time to go out and look for some food, but Li Xialuo did not expect that Liu Dazhuang would leave with others. It seemed that he was another ambitious person, but Li Xialuo doesn't care whether Liu Dazhuang and the others have ambitions, and how long they can live outside. They'd better not provoke him, otherwise, Li Xialuo would not care if Liu Dazhuang followed him, and he would still kill him if he should. It was the departure of Liu Dazhuang and the others that gave Li Xialuo a wake-up call. It's time for him to think differently. Originally, Li Xialuo casually arranged for Liu Dazhuang and Chen Jianzhen to live downstairs. In fact, it was similar to the original idea of Alliance A, which was to let them watch the door downstairs, and it's free after all. Li Xialuo no longer has an employment relationship with them, and there is no need to pay Liu Dazhuang and Chen Jianzhen anymore. Even if they are not paid, Liu Dazhuang and Chen Jianzhen must guard the door conscientiously, because Liu Dazhuang and Chen Jianzhen live downstairs. If a mob invades, they or their families will be the first to suffer. Speaking of which, Li Xialuo is indeed quite sinister. If Li Xialuo is the boss of a company, and building A is the office building of his company, Meng Jiajia and the others are Li Xialuo's employees, but Liu Dazhuang, Chen Jianzhen, and Li Xialuo asked them to do the most dangerous security work, but they were not even given the status of temporary workers, let alone any wages. The only reward was to allow Liu Dazhuang and Chen Jianzhen to live a few floors downstairs. So Li Xialuo felt now that he had to change his mind. Since you want people to do their best to look after you, you should give them the status of a temporary worker and then give them a little treatment. This is actually very simple for Li Xialuo. When he goes out to shop for 0 yuan, he can just find a vegetable market and collect some grain, rotten vegetable leaves, etc., which is enough to feed many people for a long time. In Li Xialuo's Taoyuan territory, the rules he set will definitely not change. Taoyuan territory will only recruit women, but in the early days of the apocalypse, when superpowers have not yet appeared, Li Xialuo can recruit some peripheral personnel, or temporary workers, to guard the door for him, and the role of these temporary workers is not just gatekeepers in the future. If there is any work that requires men to do, or some heavy and tiring work, it can also be outsourced to temporary workers, and those temporary workers are not people from Taoyuan Ling. They are just people temporarily hired by Li Xialuo privately. Employment can be terminated at any time. Now that he had decided, Li Xialuo went directly to the door of Chen Jianzhen's house on the 5th floor. Boom! Li Xialuo knocked on the door. Who? It's me, boss, Chen. Jianzhen in the room heard Li Xialuo's voice, and he quickly opened the door to the room excitedly. Boss, why are you here? After Chen Jianzhen opened the door to the room, he was very surprised to see Li Xialuo outside the door. Hello, boss. Hello, boss. There were 5 or 6 men in Chen Jianzhen's family. When they saw Li Xialuo, they all looked nervous and greeted Li Xialuo like primary school students. These people were all people who had been hired by Li Xialuo before. Although Li Xialuo looked younger than them, their offer Li Xialuo was also from the bottom of their hearts. Li Xialuo nodded to everyone, then looked at Chen Jianzhen and said, I came here today to inform you that I need to continue to recruit some people to work for me, and then you can ask who is willing. Then you tell everyone. Although I am still recruiting temporary workers this time, the construction period this time will definitely be longer than the last time. It may be several months. If I am satisfied, it will even be longer, and the work we need you to do is also very simple. We usually guard downstairs to prevent anyone from invading our place. Occasionally, if there is any heavy work, it will definitely not be as dangerous as last time. Hearing Li Xialuo's words, Chen Jianzhen and several men in the room showed a hint of surprise on their faces. In fact, They gathered in Chen Jianzhen's house to discuss what to do in the future. In fact, these people who did not leave with Liu Dazhuang were basically dragged here to take care of him, so they did not want to take risks with Liu Dazhuang just yet unless they had to. Otherwise, if they are injured or die, what will happen to their wives and children? But it seems a bit unrealistic to stay at home and not go out to look for food. After all, their food will eventually run out. Even Chen Jianzhen, who was assigned the most food at that time, had 3 people in his family and consumed the food very quickly. Li Xiaoluo heard their conversation through the drone, so he came over. Boss, I am willing to follow you. Me too, boss. Chen Jianzhen and others naturally expressed their opinions quickly. If they could have a stable job without leaving their families to work hard outside, they would naturally be willing to do so, because I am recruiting long-term temporary workers this time. I am not hiring just anyone. Everyone needs to go through my interview. In addition, it is best to recruit people with families, good character, and stability. Chen Jianzhen, you will still be the captain from now on. You will be responsible for the statistics first, and then notify me for an interview. Yes, boss. Chen Jianzhen quickly agreed. Li Xiaoluo did not stay at Chen Jianzhen's house for long, and then went out and went upstairs. What happened downstairs was just what Li Xiaoluo did casually, and Chen Jianzhen and the others were not Li Xiaoluo's real people. Only the women upstairs are. Keep holding on to me. Only if you sweat more, you will bleed less in the future. Li Xiaoluo had just reached the 6th floor, and Lin Mengxin was leading the female soldiers to do push-ups and perform physical exercises. Chapter 171. If they want to survive, they must force themselves to work hard. Lord, when the female soldiers who were exercising saw Li Xiaoluo, they stood up quickly, stood up straight, saluted Li Xiaoluo with a military salute, and then said hello to Li Xiaoluo uniformly. Li Xiaoluo nodded and asked an expert like Lin Mengxin to train him, and the effect was indeed very good. It's only been training for a long time, but at least the spirit of these female soldiers has definitely improved a lot compared to before. Of course, if you really want these women to be able to kill enemies and fight, it will definitely take a period of training, even after some actual combat. This is also the reason why Li Xiaoluo let Liu Dazhuang and Chen Jianzhen live downstairs before, and just now temporarily recruited people like Chen Jianzhen because these female soldiers have not grown up yet. If an enemy really comes to invade, it seems a bit unrealistic to fully expect them to be able to resist the enemy. Maybe there might be some danger at that time, and Li Xiaoluo would have to take action personally in that case. Li Xiaoluo might be extremely annoyed. Therefore, before the female soldiers in the security team have grown up, some men are temporarily hired to serve as doormen downstairs. At least they can block most of the minor troubles for Li Xiaoluo. Unless there is a powerful team of thugs to invade, there should be no need for Li Xiaoluo to take action. Li Xiaoluo is a person who is afraid of trouble. He doesn't want to have to solve trouble by himself every time. Looking at the female soldiers trained by Lin Mengxin, Li Xiaoluo asked Lin Mengxin, how do these female soldiers compare with the people at the headquarters? How long does it take to become combat effective? The so-called headquarters in Li Xiaoluo's mouth is actually over there in the Longding Villa area. The environment in the villa area is better and more suitable for living, so Li Xiaoluo regarded it as the headquarters of Taoyuan Ling. Lin Mengxin thought for a while and replied, Lord, most of the female soldiers recruited here are in better health than those at the headquarters. Their bodies are not too injured or hungry, and they can be with doomsday with a little recuperation. Same, but generally speaking, the female soldiers here are not as good as those at the headquarters, such as in terms of endurance and courage. So now we just train their physical fitness and combat skills first. If they want to develop combat effectiveness, they still have to experience some actual combat in the future. In fact, the situations Lin Mengxin mentioned are human nature and are like this for any ordinary woman, because even if you are a man, if you want to be able to go to the battlefield and have combat effectiveness, you need to undergo training and actual combat. The reason why the female soldiers of the security team in the Longding Villa area were able to quickly gain a certain level of combat effectiveness was mainly because many of the female soldiers there had suffered inhuman torture before being rescued by Li Xiaoluo, so they became very cold-hearted and had the courage to kill people later. Li Xiaoluo asked Lin Mengxin to lead them in a real battle, which increased their courage and experience a lot. That's why the female soldiers at Longding Villa were able to quickly develop a certain level of combat effectiveness, and are now able to resolve some crises on their own. But the female soldiers recruited here are different. Most of them were imprisoned for a few days and were hungry every day, But they didn't suffer much harm, so now they are almost the same ordinary women they were before the apocalypse, and suddenly they are asked to fight with men, or even kill people, not to mention that they don't have the ability yet. Even if they have the ability, they may not have the courage. After all, many things do not happen overnight, and the same is true for everyone's growth, which requires a process. However, Xialuo planned to encourage them, and he did not have time to let them grow up slowly. Now is not the end of the world. There is not much time for them to take their time. There will be no distinction between men and women after the apocalypse. If they want to survive, they must force themselves to work hard. Lin Mengson, from now on, just like the headquarters, when the female soldiers in the security team are training, the food treatment can be improved so that they can have the physical fitness to train. However, I also need to see the results as soon as possible. The novice training period for new recruits will only be 3 days. In the future I will give you some crossbows and pistols. Later you should train them to use long-range weapons to fight our soldiers or all female soldiers. Try not to compete with the enemy physically in the future. Train them in combat experience, teamwork, shooting and other skills. Then, after the 3-day novice training period, let them do 1 or 2 days of actual combat training inside, and then arrange for them to go outside to search for supplies or perform tasks for real combat training, just like at the headquarters. In the women's training, when the soldiers undergo actual combat training, you will assess them. In addition, all female soldiers in the security team will also be divided into levels in the future. For example, newly recruited recruits can only be regarded as temporary recruits. They need to complete the 3-day training of the novice period, and then pass the assessment before they can become official female soldiers. If you do not perform well during training, or if you fail to pass the actual combat assessment, you will be eliminated from the security team. Then, the recruits who pass the assessment and become official female soldiers will be initially ranked as first-class female soldiers. In the future, female soldiers who perform well or have meritorious service can continue to be promoted to second-class or third-class female soldiers. In the future, the treatment of female soldiers in the security team will be much better than that of those in the logistics department, and the treatment of female soldiers at each level will be different. The higher the level of female soldiers, the food and daily necessities will be much better, and even there will also be snacks, fruit, holidays and more. There is no rule without rules, so you also need to formulate a set of rewards and punishment measures for the security team, such as who will perform well in training in the future, who will spot the enemy while standing guard, who will be brave when killing the enemy. Wait, these can all be rewarded accordingly. If someone performs poorly, there must be corresponding punishment. Lin Mengson nodded and said, I understand, I will implement it as soon as possible. Although Lin Mengson Xialuo only gave the recruits 3 days to train, this time was really tight, but she also felt that what Xialuo said actually made sense. Women's physical fitness and courage were inherently inferior to men, so even if they spent more time training indoors, the effect and improvement would not be too great. If you want female soldiers to develop combat effectiveness as soon as possible, Xialuo's method is actually very good. First, train them more in using long-range weapons and fighting in teams, so that their courage will naturally improve a lot. Second, let them do more practical exercises, especially when they go outside to face real dangers, and they will naturally grow up quickly. As for the danger, it's up to them. Chapter 172, The Logistics Department's Complaints. After instructing Lin Mengson to improve the security team, Xialuo walked upstairs, but just after climbing 2 flights of stairs, Xialuo felt a little troubled. It seemed that he had made a mistake in placing the Lord's mansion on the top floor. If you need to go out several times a day, climbing stairs will be a troublesome thing. Of course, for Xialuo's physical fitness, climbing more than 30 floors is not because of physical weakness, it just feels too troublesome, and he also has superpowers. I just find it inconvenient for Josiah Tong and the others to work, but soon Xialuo stopped worrying. Anyway, they will spend more time living at the headquarters in the future. After all, the large villa and environment there are more suitable for living and more suitable for his identity. As for Xialuo himself, since climbing stairs is too troublesome, he can use the teleportation ability to cheat anyway. This building now belongs to him, and he is not afraid of anyone discovering his secret. Xialuo was about to teleport back to the 36th floor, but after thinking about it, he decided to check if Josiah Tong and Xiao Min had gone back. If they were still downstairs, Li Xiaoluo would go find them first because some of the reforms of the security team that Li Xiaoluo explained to Lin Mengxin before actually required the cooperation of the logistics department managed by Zhou Xiaotong. There are also things like the formulation of rules and regulations for the security team, rewards and punishment measures, etc., which can also be completed by Zhao Min helping Lin Mengxin. After all, Lin Mengxin still has to focus her main energy on training female soldiers. The training time Li Xiaoluo gives to new recruits is already very short, and since the security team needs to become more and more perfect, the logistics department must also be the same, and there must also be assessment, reward and punishment measures, so I just let Zhou Xiaotong and the others do it together anyway. Li Xiaoluo is only responsible for putting forward his ideas and requirements to them. As for the specific work, it must be Zhou Xiaotong and Zhao Min's business. After all, there is nothing useful for a secretary to do. Secretary has always been Li Xiaoluo's way of doing things. After releasing the drone, Li Xiaoluo soon discovered that Zhou Xiaotong and Zhao Min were both on the 26th floor, as were the women in the logistics department. Li Xiaoluo was originally preparing to take back the drone and then teleport directly to the 26th floor, but the picture transmitted back from the drone made Li Xiaoluo stunned for a moment. He was not in a hurry to take back the drone, but continued to watch through the drone. At this time, on the 26th floor, Zhou Xiaotong and Zhao Min were leading people from the logistics department to search for supplies from door to door. Fortunately, Li Xiaoluo had asked Liu Dazhuang and the others to clean up the corpses in all the residents' homes. Otherwise, Zhou Xiaotong and the others would have seen many horrific scenes and would have had nightmares at night, and if the bodies were not cleaned up before, people from the logistics department will definitely be needed to clean them up now. Then the women in the logistics department will probably be exhausted to death. Now that there are no corpses in any room, Zhou Xiaotong and the others' search work is relatively easy. Their current work tasks are mainly, generally, if someone has food, warm clothes, and some useful materials at home, such as toilet paper, sanitary napkins, lighters, etc. The people from the logistics department will collect them and put them on the stairs of each floor first. Then they will be uniformly transported to the warehouse of the logistics department for registration and storage. There are also some supplies, such as beds, various electrical appliances, hardware tools, etc. These supplies are of little use for the time being, and they are not very convenient to move. Zhou Xiaotong will ask the people in the logistics department to register in detail first, such as the quantity of the supplies, and then where each item is. In this way, if there is a need in the future, they can quickly find it and use it. In fact, when Zhou Xiaotong told Li Xiaoluo that he wanted to do this in the morning, Li Xiaoluo didn't think it was necessary. Zhou Xiaotong and the others only need to collect the most useful materials now. As for other supplies, let's not talk about whether there will be a chance to use them in the future. Even if it might be needed, what kind of supplies does Li Xiaoluo's system space not have? But then Li Xiaoluo thought about it and decided to follow Zhou Xiaotong's method. Because Li Xiaoluo's Taoyuan leader will be a large team in the future, it is best to rely on the team to operate normally, including logistics. For example, Taoyuan Ling needs to have its own logistics department and its own logistics warehouse, and then all materials need to be received and distributed from the warehouse normally. Otherwise, if there were any supplies, Li Xiaoluo would give them directly, not to mention that Li Xiaoluo would be in trouble, just like being a nanny. Moreover, what will they do if Li Xiaoluo is temporarily out of the territory due to something unexpected? Therefore, everything in the territory must still function normally at best. Li Xiaoluo's system space can only be regarded as his own private wealth, and he can occasionally do something to add icing on the cake to his territory. So now Zhou Xiaotong and the others not only have to search for all the supplies that can be used and taken away from each room, but they also have to register all the supplies in each room. Although the work is not tiring, it is a lot of work. Of course, Zhou Xiaotong and Zhao Min do not need to do these tasks themselves. They just need to chat and occasionally supervise the women in the logistics department. Hey, a lord's wife is already difficult enough to take care of. I didn't expect that Mrs. Zhao Min would appear now. And she arranged so much work for us as soon as she came. Do you think she is deliberately making things difficult for us? At this time, in a room on the 26th floor, Dai Linlin was holding a notebook and pen in her hand, recording the supplies in the room, while constantly complaining to her companions in a low voice, "SHH, Sister Linlin, don't talk nonsense. If others hear you talking about Mrs. Zhao Min like this, you may be punished." HMPH, that Zhao Min looks more like a vixen than Zhou Xiaotong at first glance. By the way, have you seen her in our building before? It seems Not really, although. The two women, Josiah Tong and Xiaomin, were wearing thick clothes because they were outside, hiding their sexy and plump figures under their clothes. Their extremely beautiful faces were still a beautiful sight, especially Xiaomin, who exudes a natural noble temperament, is definitely not an ordinary woman before the end. In fact, when Xiaomin showed up in the morning, several women in the logistics department were murmuring, when did the building have a mature and beautiful woman with outstanding temperament like Xiaomin? Although it may be said that it was before the end of the world, the relationship between neighbors in the city was basically indifferent. Many people did not even know the neighbors on the first floor, let alone the people in the entire building. However, several women in the logistics department felt that even if they were not neighbors with Xiaomin before the end of the world, since they lived in the same building, they should always have the opportunity to meet a few times, right? Logically speaking, if they had ever seen a woman like Mrs. Xiaomin, they would definitely be deeply impressed, but no one has any impression of Xiaomin, which is really strange. Chapter 173 Reason. Sister Linlin, don't worry about whether you saw Mrs. Xiaomin before the end. She is now Mrs. We must listen to her, so we'd better work quickly, otherwise when Supervisor Tanguo comes to inspect, if he finds us working so slowly, he might punish us. Die? Linlin snorted coldly. Huh? Supervisors are all people who can only flatter themselves. We didn't sit down to rest, we were busy all the time. Why should she punish us? It really peed me off. At worst, I'm not here. Anyway, the treatment here is very poor, and I regret it now. In fact, there are only 5 women in the logistics department now, managed by Josiah Tong and Xiaomin, and yesterday, these 5 women were still very excited to follow Li Xiaoluo. I am also very grateful to Li Xiaoluo. After all, after following Li Xiaoluo, safety is guaranteed. With the most basic food guarantee, we no longer have to go through the previous experience of being hungry for a whole day without food. But this morning, in addition to Josiah Tong, there was suddenly another lady named Xiaomin, and a lot of tasks were assigned to the women in the logistics department later. Among the 5 women in the logistics department, one woman named Tanguo performed well and was appointed as the head of the logistics department by Josiah Tong and Xiaomin. At this time, there were voices of dissatisfaction among the remaining women in the logistics department. Not only was he dissatisfied with Xiaomin, but he was also dissatisfied with Tanguo. In fact, most of the women in the logistics department were a little envious of the sudden appearance of Xiaomin, who could also become the Lord's wife. They are also somewhat envious that Tanguo, who originally joined them at the same time, suddenly became a manager and will definitely be treated much better than them in the future. But most women just feel envious in their hearts and don't have any big thoughts, let alone complain out loud, because at this time, most of these women don't have the courage. In fact, the only person who is really dissatisfied and complaining is this person named Dai Linlin, and this Dai Linlin is none other than the woman who lived with Tan Jingjing before. Dai Linlin and Tan Jingjing were originally good friends, but they were just plastic best friends. Both of them were slaves of Alliance A before, but when they were in Alliance A, Tan Jingjing got along with a minor leader of Alliance A, so her life was much better than that of Dai Linlin. This is why after Li Xiaoluo destroyed Alliance A, Tan Jingjing did not feel much gratitude to Li Xiaoluo, but Dai Linlin was more grateful to Li Xiaoluo later. After Alliance A was destroyed, Tan Jingjing got Liu Dazhuang's licking dog, and her life was still much better than Dai Linlin, even more, because she still had to rely on Tan Jingjing to get food from Liu Dazhuang and give it to her. Dai Linlin had to force a smile on Tan Jingjing to please Tan Jingjing. Until yesterday, both Tan Jingjing and Dai Linlin participated in Li Xiaoluo's assessment. In the end, Dai Linlin, who was more friendly, passed the assessment, while Tan Jingjing was eliminated in the first interview. This made Dai Linlin finally feel proud, feeling that she was finally better off than Tan Jingjing, and it would be Tan Jingjing who would won over her from now on. But what Dai Linlin didn't expect was that just one day later, Tan Jingjing actually tricked Liu Dazhuang into starting a new business. It is said that now they have gone to Building C, and they have established a firm foothold and obtained a lot of food, and Tan Jingjing even said that Liu Dazhuang cared about her very much and gave her whatever she wanted. Tan Jingjing also sent a message to Dai Linlin, saying that their life there would be 100 times better than following Li Xiaoluo. She also tried her best to persuade Dai Linlin to follow her. With their relationship as good best friends, if Dai Linlin went there, she would be able to enjoy the hot and spicy food with her. Upon hearing the news, Dai Linlin's first reaction was not to hang out with Tan Jingjing, but to be angry that she was being outperformed by Tan Jingjing again. She finally passed Li Xiaoluo's assessment, but she hadn't seen Tan Jingjing fawning over her yet. She didn't expect that Tan Jingjing would be so lucky. Despite being depressed, Dai Linlin was still a little moved by Tan Jingjing's invitation. After all, she and Tan Jingjing have a very good relationship on the surface. If they follow Tan Jingjing, she is also a close friend. It will definitely be taken more seriously than following Li Xiaoluo. Dai Linlin was still a little hesitant at first, don't know how to choose, because she no longer wants to rely on Tan Jingjing's breath, but she also wants to live a better life. Until today, suddenly another lord's wife appeared, and the girl Tanguo who originally joined them also became their manager. You must know that this Tanguo was even worse than her in their league and was always looked down upon by her and Tan Jingjing. Why is she now in charge of her? As a result, Dai Linlin became more dissatisfied and had the idea of leaving Li Xiaoluo and joining Tan Jingjing. Of course, unlike before the end of the world, even if she wanted to change jobs, she would definitely not say so directly, because now is the post-apocalypse. Maybe Li Xiaoluo will accuse her of collaborating with the enemy and betraying her, but Dai Linlin also had a way. She adopted a passive attitude towards work, and then continued to complain and make small complaints in the ears of her companions. In this way, if Josiah Tong and Zhao Min saw her working attitude, or maybe someone snitched on them and told Josiah Tong and Zhao Min their complaints against them, then they will definitely be very angry, and then they may drive themselves away directly. If it were other women, they would definitely be very afraid of being driven away, because they don't have the same relationship as they do with Tan Jingjing, and there is no other place to go without Li Xiaoluo. But when Dai Linlin wanted to leave, she didn't want to stay here anymore. However, Dai Linlin's plan was quite effective. Even if she complained behind her back, no one complained, but her passiveness and sabotage were actually quickly discovered by the manager Tanguo. But Tanguo, who had just become a manager, actually didn't want to be a bad person when he first came, and women like them were already suffering. So Tanguo patiently persuaded Dai Linlin for a few words, and then gave Dai Linlin a chance to change her ways. But Tanguo naturally paid more attention to Dai Linlin's work. After discovering that Dai Linlin had no intention of changing her mind, Tanguo could only report the situation to Josiah Tong and others. So Josiah Tong and Zhao Min quietly observed outside the room where Dai Linlin worked, and naturally heard Dai Linlin's attitude and words. Then Josiah Tong pushed open the door of the room fiercely. He walked into the room with a cold face. Following Josiah Tong were Zhao Min and the logistics manager named Tanguo. Madam, good, hello, supervisor. In addition to Dai Linlin in the room, the other woman who works with Dai Linlin is named Li Xiaomai. Although Li Xiaomai didn't say anything that shouldn't be said just now, and she didn't slack off today, she has been working diligently. But at this time, she was even more nervous than Dai Linlin, fearing that she would be punished along with Dai Linlin. Chapter 174. Does she still think it's the end of the world? After Josiah Tong entered the room, he looked at Dai Linlin with a cold face for a while, and then said in a cold voice, Dai Linlin, you all passed the exam with great difficulty to be qualified to join the Taoyuan leader. Is this your attitude now? When Dai Linlin saw Josiah Tong appear, she naturally didn't dare to speak loudly anymore. She just lowered her head and said nothing, but he didn't ask for mercy either. However, although she did not directly contradict Josiah Tong, Dai Linlin's attitude was actually telling Josiah Tong that she did not feel that she was at fault, or maybe she doesn't want to correct her mistakes. The reason why Dai Linlin didn't dare to talk back was because she didn't want Josiah Tong to catch him and accuse her of committing the following crime. Now is not the end of the world. Before the end of the world, no one would dare to hurt her, even if she was a shrew. If she really dares to contradict Josiah Tong after the end of the world, maybe Josiah Tong will complain to Li Xiaoluo, and then Li Xiaoluo will hurt her. Dai Linlin just wanted Josiah Tong to realize that she was not good at doing things and that she liked to care about everything, and then drive her away. She doesn't really want to challenge Li Xiaoluo's authority. Speak, aren't you Dai Linlin quite talkative when we are away? And you are also very courageous, Dai Linlin. Since you don't want to stay here, then I will help you. When the Lord comes back, I will ask the Lord to let you leave. I just hope you don't regret it. In this apocalypse, there isn't much else, but there are a lot of people who lack food, especially women. Do you think you can survive in the cruel environment outside after leaving here? Madam, if you insist on driving me away, then there is nothing I can do. At worst, I will just leave. When she heard that Josiah Tong was going to drive her away, Dai Linlin was not afraid, but secretly happy. However, Dai Linlin still had an expression on her face as if she was forced to leave here and she was the victim. Josiah Tong was very angry at Dai Linlin's attitude, but for a moment he didn't know what to do with Dai Linlin. In fact, her thinking was still stuck in the pre-apocalyptic period, and she felt the same as before the apocalypse. If the employees wanted to leave, No matter how hard she threatened, it seemed that it would be of no use after all. We can no longer force people to stay in this kind of thing, and they are not that short of people. You can't just beat her up and let her go just because of this little thing, right? In Josiah Tong's view, Dai Linlin did not betray, make trouble, or steal food. It's just that I don't work seriously, and then I complain a little bit. She had no reason to impose any harsh punishment. Josiah Tong originally thought that if he wanted to drive Dai Linlin away, Dai Linlin would definitely be very scared and then give in, but I didn't expect that Dai Linlin didn't want to change at all, and I don't know what she was thinking. Okay. Twang Tong, there is no need to be angry with this kind of person. She will regret it in the future. Zhao Min patted Josiah Tong's back gently, and then comforted him before the end. Zhao Min also had her own business and many employees, therefore, she has long been accustomed to the way of thinking of superiors. That is, there is no need to care too much about the unreasonable troubles of her employees. Otherwise, if one employee wants a salary increase today and another employee wants a promotion tomorrow, how will the management be managed? Those who want to leave, just let them leave. Lord. A woman standing at the door of the room suddenly saw Li Xiaoluo appearing outside the door. He immediately shouted subconsciously. Her voice naturally immediately attracted the attention of all the women in the room to Li Xiaoluo. Seeing Li Xiaoluo coming back, Josiah Tong and Zhao Min both happily greeted him. After Dai Linlin saw Li Xiaoluo, she suddenly felt a little uneasy for some reason. After all, Li Xiaoluo is now the absolute ruler in this building, and too many people have been killed by Li Xiaoluo except for Josiah Tong and Zhao Min. Everyone now has a kind of heartfelt awe for Li Xiaoluo, but Dai Linlin soon calmed down again, because in Dai Linlin's eyes, most of the people Li Xiaoluo killed were thugs from Alliance A. And it seemed that they did not kill innocent people indiscriminately, otherwise, women like them would not be alive until now. That's why Dai Linlin didn't tell Josiah Tong that she wanted to go to another team, nor did she do anything excessive or contradict Josiah Tong. It was Josiah Tong who asked her to leave just now, so Dai Linlin felt that Li Xiaoluo had no reason to embarrass her. After Josiah Tong walked to Li Xiaoluo, she told Li Xiaoluo what had just happened. Although Dai Linlin was angry just now, Josiah Tong did not exaggerate. Josiah Tong just couldn't figure it out. Is this Dai Linlin mentally ill? Does she still think it's the end of the world? If this company is not good, then find another one. And it seems like he still wants to leave on purpose. Josiah Tong actually didn't know what was going on downstairs, and had never even met Liu Dazhuang and the others. Naturally, he didn't know about Dai Linlin, Tan Jingjing and the others, but Josiah Tong knew that whether Dai Linlin was really mentally ill or just had such a personality, such a person must not be allowed to stay anymore. Otherwise, just one rat droppings will spoil the whole pot of soup. It will be difficult to manage the team in the future. After Josiah Tong finished speaking, Li Xiaoluo looked at Josiah Tong and Zhao Min and said, "You will be in charge of the logistics department from now on, so I won't ask any more questions. What do you think we should do about this matter, Zhou?" Xiaoluo Tong said, "Boss, since Dai Linlin wants to leave, let her go back to her original place. Our logistics department doesn't have many things to do now, and she is not missing." Zhao Min also said, "I think so too. I heard that when we were recruiting people before, there were many people who didn't apply. So there is no need for us to force people who don't want to stay." Li Xiaoluo smiled and nodded. Dai Linlin's face lit up. It seemed that things were going well. I hope Tan Jingjing didn't lie to her. After following her in the past, she would really become popular and drink spicy food. But Dai Linlin didn't see the cold light flashing in Li Xiaoluo's eyes at all. Li Xiaoluo looked at Josiah Tong and Zhao Min and slowly said, "Okay, since she joined our Taoyuan leader, she will naturally be a member of our Taoyuan leader when she is born, and a ghost of our Taoyuan leader when she dies, unless we take the initiative to deprive her of the Taoyuan leader identity. But you are in charge of the logistics department, so let's do it according to your opinions. And when we recruited people before, we really didn't make it clear. I am a very reasonable person, so I will give Dai Linlin an exception this time." Dai Linlin said with hypocritical gratitude, "Thank you, Lord." Li Xiaoluo looked at Dai Linlin and waved her hands, her eyes cold, and said, "Don't thank me in a hurry. Although I didn't make it clear when I recruited people, you were the first to want to leave, so I'll give you an exception. But the investment I made in you, including food, you need to repay me. There's nothing wrong with that, right?" Chapter 175 The Collapse of Dai Linlin. After hearing Li Xiaoluo's words, Dai Linlin subconsciously wanted to refute. What does it mean to have no problem? There is something very wrong. Okay, it's like going to work in a factory before the end of the world, only to work for one day and then run away with a bucket. But the owner of the factory said that you can leave if you want, but I will provide you with accommodation and food for one day. None of this is free. If you want to leave now, you must pay, otherwise our factory will lose money. Isn't this a problem? According to the laws before the end of the world, even if you work for one day, you will be paid. So not only is it not her who should give money to the factory, but the factory should give her money. So similarly, now it is not she who should repay Li Xiaoluo, but Li Xiaoluo who should pay her wages. But Dao Linlin thought about it. There is no law now. The law of this building is now decided by Li Xiaoluo, so she had better not refute Li Xiaoluo. Otherwise, if Li Xiaoluo really wants to hurt her, then she will only be hurt. And it seems that the current post-apocalyptic situation cannot be compared with a pre-apocalyptic situation. For example, food is so precious now, and it cannot be measured by a little money before the end. So the food Li Xiaoluo gave them seemed to be indeed very precious. So Dao Linlin could only say pitifully, "Lord, I wonder how much food you want me to repay you." Li Xiaoluo said, "Not much, just 1 pound of meat and 10 loaves of bread." Dai Linlin breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Li Xiaoluo didn't speak loudly. I believe Tan Jingjing should provide this food to her, so Dao Linlin hurriedly said, "No problem, I will give you the food. But Lord, can you give me some time? I am going to get the food from my friends, and I will return it to you as soon as I get it." Li Xiaoluo shook his head and said coldly, "Don't bargain with me. Either you take out the food right now, and then get out of my building, or ask your friends to deliver the food for you. You can leave then, but before there is compensation, you will definitely not be able to leave this building. Moreover, if I don't see the compensation before today, then you will have no chance, Lord." Dai Linlin originally wanted to say something, but when she saw the look in Li Xiaoluo's eyes, she finally started to get scared because she knew that Li Xiaoluo was not joking. If she didn't get food today, she might die. At this moment, Dai Linlin regretted a little. She should not have made the decision easily if she had known earlier. In fact, it is still possible to follow Li Xiaoluo. Although the life and food may not be as good as Tan Jingjing's place, she should feel much safer. But it's too late to say anything now. But Dao Linlin was not too panicked because she believed that her best friend Tan Jingjing would definitely come to her rescue with food. Dao Linlin did not dare to delay and quickly contacted Tan Jingjing. "Jingjing, didn't you ask me to follow you? I've thought about it for a long time. I have no relatives or friends now, and you are the only good friend. If I leave you and follow Li Xiaoluo, even if there is no shortage of food and drink, it will be safer, but I may not be happy in the future. So I have decided that I plan to leave Li Xiaoluo and follow you in the past. We should never be separated." But after Dai Linlin's message was sent, Tan Jingjing did not immediately reply to her. If it were normal times, Dai Linlin wouldn't care, but she is anxious now, because it is related to her life. So Dai Linlin couldn't hold back her anger and could only keep sending messages to Tan Jingjing. Fortunately, Tan Jingjing finally responded to the message soon. Tan Jingjing welcomed Dai Linlin's decision, and then emphasized again that she would definitely live a good life after she passes. But Dai Linlin doesn't care about these promises now. She just wants Tan Jingjing to bring some food to save herself. So after chatting with Tan Jingjing for a few more words, Dai Linlin started to make requests. "What? Do I still need to exchange food for you?" Tan Jingjing was obviously surprised when she heard Dai Linlin's words. "Jingjing, didn't you say that you have a supermarket over there, and there is a lot of food? Li Xiaoluo wants very little food. Please quickly bring it over and repay it to Li Xiaoluo for me, so that our sisters can always be together in the future." "Got it, Tan Jingjing." Dai Linlin didn't know what Tan Jingjing meant, so she quickly added, "Jingjing, it's just a pound of meat and 10 loaves of bread. This amount of food is just a drop in the bucket for a supermarket, right? Jingjing, come quickly. I will definitely do it in the future. I will remember your good deeds." Tan Jingjing replied, "Linlin, I'm really sorry. I may not be able to agree to your conditions. To tell you the truth, Liu Dazhuang and I haven't taken over the supermarket yet, and we are quite short of food now." Then, the leader who occupied the supermarket said that their team is currently short of beautiful women. "As long as we introduce a beautiful woman to him, not only will we get a lot of food rewards, but the woman will also be able to eat and drink. So I want you to come over, but now you ask me to redeem you with food. I really don't have any food." Dai Linlin collapsed. "Tan Jingjing, you lied to me? That's not what you said before." Tan Jingjing replied calmly, "Linlin, if you think I lied to you, then just think I lied to you. I have nothing to explain, Dai. Linlin was silent for a while. She could only take the initiative to speak again. Jingjing, didn't you say that the leader wants a beautiful woman? Tell him that I am willing to follow him, as long as he has someone send some food to save me. After a while Tan Jingjing replied, I'm sorry, Linlin. That leader said that since he was willing to pay for food, he didn't want to get into trouble. There will be no shortage of women in this post-apocalyptic world, and you can find them if you have food, so he won't let anyone come over because that might offend Xialuo. If you want to follow him, you need to find a way to escape on your own so that he can take you in. Dai? Linlin said angrily, Tan Jingjing, you go to hell. Now this building is owned by Xialuo, how can I escape? And if you didn't tell me clearly earlier, now that Xialuo and I have a showdown, you're just saying now, is there anyone like you who can be my best friend? Tan Jingjing responded with a smile, haha, Dai Linlin, since you said that, I will say it directly. In fact, everyone knows who we are, so there is no need to pretend to be aloof, right? In the evening, Lin Mengxin took several female soldiers from the security team to the canteen upstairs for dinner. Today the security team is undergoing reforms. Under Li Xiaoluo's order, the female soldiers in the security team will receive good food and treatment during training. Their meals at night include meat, chicken soup, and even fruit. This made the female soldiers in the security team very excited. Even the people in the logistics department who were responsible for preparing food for the female soldiers were extremely envious. Unfortunately, they are not qualified to become female soldiers. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.